Well, well, well. I apologize for a late start today. I had a couple things going on. But nevertheless, we have an absolutely great show planned for the day. We're going to listen to how people kind of misconstrue Jerry Jones' words. And we're also going to see how dumb these power rankings are, amongst other things. Let's talk, Cowboys. We're about to talk facts. Let's go! Y'all know what time it is. It is time to talk Cowboys. Great show planned for the day. Looking forward to hearing from the chat. Let's go. Let's get it. Welcome, Cowboy fans and Cowboy haters alike. I'm the G, and I'm the host of Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. And if you like this live stream, please don't forget to hit that like button when you come in. Hit that notification bell and share this content so you'll know the next time we post another video or go live. And if you haven't become a channel member or subscriber yet, please do. We have a lot of great things coming up this season. Now, let's talk facts. Absolutely great show coming up today. Not going to be long, but I have a great show coming up today. So today, we are going to listen to Jerry Jones on 105.3 The Fan. I am telling you, if you listen to people talk about what Jerry Jones said on 105.3 The Fan, and then you go listen to what Jerry Jones said on 105.3 The Fan, people's interpretation of Jerry Jones is just crazy to me. It's just crazy to me. They'll be telling you this man is saying stuff he's not even saying. But we're going to listen to that. We're also going to listen to something that 105.3 has put together talking about questions, I guess, going into week 2. I have no clue what that is, but we're going to listen to it anyway. Then, I'm going to dispel the mythology behind quarterback pressures. While it's a stat that I like quarterback pressures, but I'm going to make the same argument that I made about this last year. And I'm going to use our own game, the game that we played against the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm going to show you where this stat is flawed. Next, we're going to talk a little bit about what Brian Schottenheimer talked about yesterday. I'm still confused about the Jaden Blue issue. I'm confused about the Jaden Blue issue, and I'll tell you why, and I think some of you may have some of the same confusion. We're also going to talk about the NFL power rankings. These power rankings are dumb and flawed, and I'm telling you, I want to see y'all's response. I'm going to tell you why they're being biased towards the Cowboys in these doggone power rankings. And I'm going to show you the inconsistency in these doggone power rankings. It is absolutely dumb. Then we'll talk a little bit more about the New York Giants, but we're going to start our full onslaught about the New York Giants on Thursday. But we will talk a little bit about them today. I looked at an article I wanted to find an article over there in New York and see what they're saying about their own Giants. And so we're going to talk about that too. So that's our show for today. 105.3 The Fan with Jerry. 105.3 questions, quarterback pressures, Jaden Blue issues, NFL power rankings, and the Giants. Great show for today. Let's go. Let's get it. All right, let's get a quick roll call in, and then we're going to get this show started. Whether it be 5 or 5,000, we talking Cowboys. Let's go. J. Lou from the 903. What's going on with you today? Good to see you. Dominique Pittman in this thing. Yes, sir. Great video on the picking situation. Yes, sir. Appreciate you. Got some more stuff. We're going to talk about Jaden Blue. I think I'm going to do some stuff on Jaden Blue. But, man, your mind is going to be blown, Dominique, when I show you these power rankings about the Dallas Cowboys, Poobie D up in this thing, he got my back. I'm gonna be talking crazy today now that Poobie D up in here. What's going on with you, my man? Good to see you. Derek G up in this thing. He said, what up? Love the show. It brings so much joy to me watching your show. Man, I appreciate it, Derek G. It brings joy for me, for you to be here. So I appreciate you. The feeling is mutual. What's going on? He said there's a bunch of Giant fans disappointed. I have a feeling they're going to be disappointed. Derek G, I feel sorry for the Giants, boy. The Giants, I believe the Giants are where we were last year. Jerry Jones came into the 2024 season full well knowing he's about to throw that thing in the trash. Full well knowing it. Mad about the 2023 playoff loss to Green Bay. Threw that season in the trash. I believe the New York Giants are doing the same thing. They're going to throw this thing in the trash. Jackson Dart will be the starting quarterback at some point this year. Brian Daboll does not last past this year. They're going to get a high draft pick. They'll be drafting at they'll be probably a top five in the draft. The New York Giants are in full rebuild mode. It is going to be a dumpster fire for them this year. Lord Nova in the crib. What's going on with you? My sister Niecy up in this thing from the very beginning. Looking forward to seeing what you got to say. Gee, you got Yoda and Jerry up there looking like twins. Somebody put that together and put Jerry Jones' face on that Yoda, boy. Niecy, I can't help it. I absolutely love that picture. Rod Header said, what up, G? What up, chat? He said, never seems to amaze me how the league treat the Cowboys players. If Jalen Carter was a Cowboy player, he gets 2 to 4 game suspension. Yeah, the thing that's really crazy to me is that they said that the fact that he didn't play the game, that in itself was a suspension. Dude, what? Oh, well, it's crazy. That's the life of a Cowboy. Trevor Bailey, what up with you? Rena Seguini, what's going on? Dak Owens, Filthy, what's going on? He said send Jalen Carter to prison. He said send him to prison. What's going on? John Henry up in this thing. What's going on with you? William Dansby, love my Cowboys. Yes, sir. D's, facts. Let's go. Mason Bartlett, God bless you. Hope all is well. Same to you. John Jones, what up, G Money? It's a new Jack City. Nick Burston up in here. What's going on? What's shaking with you? Patrick D. Johnson Jr., good to see you. LaQueen Jackson, another one of my sisters from the beginning. Salute. What's going on, Lonnie Cabal? What up with you? Star Guardian X. How you liking that wrench? What's going on with you? Marcus Warner up in this thing. My sister, Brandy Mahoney, she said, did y'all hear that Jerry's interview? If you didn't, you're about to hear it. Wolf King, what's going on with you? The Big Rambowski. Ron C on X, what's going on? He said, did you hear about Dak? He had a wide open Pickens driving down down the field today, heading on the Star, but he exited early to follow CD right into a traffic jam. Ooh. Let me tell you something. Big Rambowski. This is why they're going to have to work on this. Dak is so comfortable with CD. They got to get him out of that comfort zone, man. He's going to have to hit George Pickens. He's got to hit him. He's going to have to build some trust in him. He's going to have to hit him. Jared said, G, we're fine. People got to not freak out. We got the Eagles' attention. They know that we're on our way. We're fine. We're building something. Just let it happen. Y'all laugh out loud. We still got Dak. Yes, sir. I feel you. We just got to get that connection. We talked about that connection during training camp, but we got to get that thing fixed, and we got to get it fixed quick. We got some big games coming up. My brother Roderick, what's going on? I'm gonna hit you up tonight after I get off. Davey Ho Wallace, what up with you? He said, let's get them likes up. All right, let's get this thing started. Couple of more greetings. Alex up in this thing. Oh man, Big Rumbowski said the NFL doesn't need power rankings. All you need are the division and the wild card stations to know where you at. Yes, sir. Alex says salute, chat. Kimbo88 in this thing. Carlito Cash. Sean Brown. What's going on? Everybody in here. Lucky Fullwood. Yeah, y'all come on in. Douglas Harrison in here. Yes, sir. Let's get this thing going. Brandon Jones. Cannot forget to mention my man C Base. What's going on with you? Lee Grant up in here. What's up with you? Dana Jet. Good to see you. All right, Travis Beck back up in this thing. Super 2, Rico Jones, Mario Johnson. Man, I appreciate all y'all rocking with me. Gwen Bowden, what's going on? She said I have the Cowboys beating the brakes off the Giants. They very well better beat the brakes off of them too. 8 Crown 79, salute. Marlon Dillard, Bleeding Blue. Let's get this thing started. Appreciate y'all. All shake and bake up in here, Mr. Law. All right, so we got a lot of things to talk about. We're going to listen to Jerry Jones first. Travis Beck said, G, by midseason, we're going to be in full force. I believe so, too, especially once we get Overshown back. When Overshown comes back, this team is taking off. This team is really taking off when Overshown get back. I believe it's going to be awesome for the Cowboys. Mr. Get Dirty, what's going on with you? All right, so let's check this thing out with Jerry Jones. People always have me laughing when they're talking about Jerry Jones in these interviews. And I listened to this interview today. And I'll be honest with you, I normally don't listen to him before I come on live, but I actually wanted to listen to this one. And I'll be honest with you, I'm absolutely dumbfounded on the Jerry Jones conversation. I just don't see anything wrong that Jerry Jones actually said. Jerry Jones seems to be echoing the same thing that we've been hearing echoed by the rest of the team. Brian Schottenheimer, Stephen Jones, no moral victory. But if you let people tell it, Jerry Jones came on here and cussed out the devil. If you let people tell it, boy, Jerry Jones came on here and Jerry Jones came on here and said some egregious things if you let people tell it. I'm sorry, I just didn't hear anything that Jerry really said that had me up in arms. I mean, to be honest with you, I thought it was one of Jerry's boringest. Hold on a second. I thought it was one of Jerry Jones' like very boring interviews. I mean, Jerry didn't really say anything that had me going, why did Jerry say that? I mean, let's listen to it again together. I just didn't hear anything that Jerry said that I thought was necessarily crazy. Appreciate your all shake and bake. He said, Jesus is king. Yes, sir. I didn't hear anything he said. I mean, it's just a boring interview from Jerry Jones. But y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Let's check out Jerry Jones as he now gives his take on the Dallas Cowboys after the Philadelphia Eagle debacle. Let's check it out.
Right here. Jerry Jones is brought to you by your North Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas. Jerry, good morning. Welcome back to another year.
Man, it's good to be on with you, and you're saying it just right. How about this? We've got another year coming up, and isn't it exciting? It really is. I don't know when I've enjoyed yesterday anymore. I don't know why. It just seemed like we had the time to look at all those games, and it seemed like every one of them were pertinent to a reflection on where we are, where the league is, and it was an exciting day yesterday to watch those games, and came in pretty enthusiastic off of the way we played in Philadelphia.
Brian Schottenheimer said he watches the red zone like I do. I'm absolutely obsessed with that football package. How do you take in all the games? Do you have a lair? Do you have a Jerry cave with 12 TVs? Do you watch the red zone, or you just have to focus on one game at a time?
No, I don't have a particular place that I watch it, but I often watch it at the same place I work, which is at a big kitchen table with a bunch of stuff spread out on it. And I've got that television where I can really watch it there. And, I use Red Zone. And then, like yesterday, we were particularly zeroed in on the Green Bay game, Sunday, particularly zeroed in on that game. And, of course, that game with the Giants in Washington. And so those I'll switch off that Red Zone a little bit and zero in on those games.
Jerry, how did you feel about your team's performance overall against the Eagles last Thursday?
I was pleased with how we played. And I thought that in particular, I thought that Dak had one of the best games that I've seen him play. Now, we all are aware that, and I don't know why I bother to say, we all know there's no consolation in a loss. But I felt very strongly that we had a chance to win that game at Philadelphia's home, which would have been a triumph coming in off of their celebration of their Super Bowl. So I felt great about that. I felt really, really, really good about the way our offensive line played. I think that bodes well for as we start down this season. And I really like what we did moving those guys around. And I'm talking about how our offensive line was physical and made some holes there. For the running backs. Shame we got that fumble, but that's part of it, I guess. And then I thought Dak had really good ball placement and gave us a chance to beat a really good team at home, at their home. And that's pretty good.
Jerry, what stood out?
Now, two things can be true, and I don't see anything wrong with what Jerry said. There's nothing wrong with being pleased with the way the Cowboys played. I mean, there's just nothing wrong with that. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, the Cowboys played really, really well. There's nothing wrong with saying that he liked the way they played. But he also made sure he said, no consolation. I really believe you just can't help but to like the way the Cowboys played. I mean, Colin Cowherd admitted he was wrong this week on the Cowboys. He said Colin Cowherd was wrong. The Cowboys looked extremely good. A lot of people have just done a 180 on the Cowboys. Now, we'll see how it goes. You know, it's week to week with the Cowboys. They'll 180, then they'll 180 again, and which really is a 360. Then they'll 180 and 360 and 180 and 360. But nevertheless, you couldn't help but look at that game and say, the Cowboys look pretty good. And what he said about Dak Prescott, there are many people saying that they believe that that was one of the best games that Dak Prescott has played. I think we're going to be in for a treat this year because I'm sorry, but Dak Prescott, something looks different about this dude. Body, overall aura, the way he's looking in his eyes. I mean, this dude, Dak Prescott is looking different, and I think he's only going to improve. Like Big Rombowski mentioned, whatever they're talking about from practice, I think now they're going to have to wean Dak Prescott off of CeeDee Lamb and say, hey, Dak, you do got another receiver now. You do have another receiver. You got to get him involved in the game. But once I think they work that out over the next 2 to 3 games, this thing is really going to be humming. But what did Jerry really say that people were running around posting this stuff like he said something crazy? Now listen to the interview. I'm just telling you guys, it's just boring. It is. It is. It's just boring. C-Base said 105.3 The Fan does this type of stuff. Jerry gives literally nothing. These guys act like it's bombshells. C-Base, people on X today were acting like it was bombshells. And then after I heard it, I was like, what are these people talking about? Carlito Cash, boring is good. Exactly. Exactly. I mean, it's just boring. And I like it. I'm with you. I like it boring. I like it boring. Jerry is just reiterating. This team seems like they're more on the same page than I've heard them in a long time. They're just all saying the same thing. To me, more proof that Shotty has, they believe in some of the things that Shotty is saying. And they're all just kind of saying the same thing. I don't know how else to put it. It's just boring stuff. And y'all are even saying it don't even sound like Jerry. I mean, Ruby Sweat said it sounds like Jerry Jr. I mean, I think the issue is it's just boring. I like I'm with you, C-Base. He said, I actually agree with Jerry. Jerry ain't saying nothing, y'all, that's a surprise. Ron Hanna said, gee, it sounds like the front office and Brian is on the same page. I don't feel like that was the vibe last year, or am I wrong? Ron Hanna, I haven't felt like this in years. It was always three different teams to me. This sounds like one team. Sounds like one team. Cino said it sounds like y'all won. I don't think it sounds like we won. I don't think he's sounding like we won. I just think it's two things can be right. We got beat by self-inflicted wounds. You like a whole bunch of things that you saw, but you hate the outcome because drop passes, guys who you're paying big money to. You think about it. All the guys who we're paying the money to, the money guys, CeeDee Lamb, Jake Ferguson, the money guys, they're the ones who dropped the ball. I would have loved to seen them give George Pickens an opportunity. I said it today. I would have loved to seen them give George Pickens an opportunity. Give him an opportunity at being a hero in the game. I mean, you gave it to everyone else. But again, I just don't think he said anything crazy. Two things can be true. You can lose the game. You can like some things that you saw in certain areas. You like it, but there's no consolation prize. I don't see the problem.
To you from Brian Schottenheimer's debut.
Oh, I thought he had the team ready, prepared. We didn't see anything there that got us disjointed as a team. I thought he gave us a chance to the plan, the preparation gave us a chance to win that game. That's what we asked for, be in it at the end and get a chance to win it at the end. I thought he did a great job, and, of course, he's calling the offensive plays too. I thought he handled that really well. No surprise that he handled it, but I thought the combination of the game plan, executing the game plan as well from the head coaching position, as well as calling the game offensively was an A.
Jerry, it was.
I just don't know where I don't know where I disagree. I got to give Brian Schottenheimer kudos. I mean, this dude, do we realize this was this dude's first game as a head coach? This dude's coaching debut. I mean, everything that was on him, I really think he did a great job. Everything that was on him, everything he was responsible for, I think he did a good job. The team was ready. I don't even think they were just energetic. I think they were physical on purpose. And I also felt like they were laser focused. They were laser focused on the task at hand. Laser focused. They fought all the way to the end. And the thing that did them in was just drops and a fumble. You know, you can go back and nitpick the game, you know, and you can say that maybe Brian could have went shorter on the 4th and 3 or whatever it was, or 3rd and 3, 4th and 3. He could have went shorter rather than setting it up to go to CeeDee Lamb down the field. But in actuality, if you look at that play, CeeDee Lamb was held by the cornerback, which delayed him getting to the ball. Should have been pass interference. But of course, you know, they didn't want to. The Philadelphia referees were obviously instructed to hold the flags in their hand, in their pocket, because there were blatant penalties against the Philadelphia Eagles, and they were not calling them. That should have been pass interference. If it's pass interference, we're having a whole different conversation. CeeDee Lamb catches the ball. It's a whole different conversation. You don't get the fumble. I mean, so many different things. But all of that was not in Schotty's control. Everything that Schotty had control of, he did a very good job. Now, his next big test, I want to see how he does now against the Giants. Because the one thing that Mike McCarthy couldn't do, McCarthy could get us up for some of the big games. He couldn't get us up for the biggest games, but he definitely couldn't get us up for the games to where there were teams that we were supposed to beat, and we didn't. The Cowboys would start those games extremely slow, and it wasn't until they got behind, and then they would start trying to play their way back in through Dak Prescott. But no, man, they gotta really get this thing going. And this one with the Giants is going to be a big test. If he has them ready against the Giants, they should come out and blow the doors off them boys. And I'm going to tell you, okay, game 2, still going to be watching the progress. But if you can get the Dallas Cowboys up for the New York Giants and get them to play the Giants like they played the Eagles, we're blowing the doors off of them. Straight up, we're blowing the doors off the Giants if Brian Schottenheimer gets this team up to play the way he did with the Eagles. So I'm loving it. Big Rumbowski talking about, he said they subbed out Saquon a lot for the backup running back. Man, Cowboys was putting in work on that boy. Putting in work. And then people talking about the Bigsby trade. You know, I don't think the Bigsby trade, I don't think the Cowboys should go out and do anything yet. I don't think the Cowboys should go out and do anything yet. The Eagles are doing things because of how they saw us. Why should we be doing anything? We didn't even take full advantage of our own squad. The squad we presently have. We didn't even take full advantage of it. Do we not realize we didn't take advantage of George Pickens? Let that sink in. What are we going out getting somebody for? We don't know what Jaden Blue looks like. Why are we running to get a running? Why would we run to get a running back? We don't even know what Jaden Blue looks like. We're going to talk about Jaden Blue later. We don't even know what Phil Maffa looks like up in this thing. What are we going to get a running back for? Why would we be panicking? We didn't need to go get Bigsby. And we definitely didn't need to go trade a 5th-round draft pick. The Cowboys have already traded away, what, a 4th? The Cowboys have already traded away, what, a 6th? We don't need to do any trading right now. The only thing we need to focus on is, what are we? The Philadelphia Eagles was a preseason game that counts. The New York Giants is going to be another preseason game that counts. The real game starts against the Green Bay Packers. We still got to figure out our own combinations. We got to figure out, what do we want to do at the edge? Do we want Ezra Rocco and Nealon out there at the same time? Or do we want Dante Fowler and James Houston out there at the same time? Do we want James Houston and Ezra Rocco, James Houston and Nealon? What combination do we want at the edge? What brings us the most pressure? What do we want to do there? I mean, we got a lot to figure out. Okay, what is Jaden Blue? Let's give him, we can't just say after one game, let's give him 2 games. And let's give him the rock. Let's give him a couple of games. And let's see if the Javonte Williams, Jaden Blue combo is better than the Javonte Williams, Miles Sanders combo. And I'm pretty sure the Cowboys want to give Miles Sanders one more shake. He had a nice run. He fumbled the ball. I'm sure they want to give him one more shake. But this may open up the door. We'll talk about Jaden Blue again later. But the Cowboys, they have so many unanswered questions about their own squad. Lord forbid we start bringing somebody in before we even know what the rest of our squad looks like. I think the Cowboys still have other questions they need to answer. The Cowboys need to answer, what do they look like with Jaden Blue in at the 3rd wide receiver spot rather than Jalen Tolbert? The Cowboys don't need to go out and do things because they did so good. In the offseason, they did so good. They did so good in free agency. They did so good in the draft. The Cowboys don't need to go out and get anyone else. The Cowboys right now need to be looking within their own squad to kind of see, like, okay, which of these combinations work. What works best during which situation? Because I'm telling you right now, boy, let me tell you, Jalen Tolbert better turn it on this week. Jalen Tolbert better turn it on this week. Jalen Tolbert better turn it on for the next 3 games. Because I'm telling us, when Jonathan Mingo comes back, if he got 17 snaps this game, he had 17 snaps. Turpin had 17 snaps. I don't think you need to go any higher on Turpin. I think you need to keep Turpin around 14 to 17. He still needs to return kicks. He still has to return punts. Keep him at 14 to 17. You got some good third wide receivers. The third wide receiver for this team really needs to step up. I believe the Cowboys need to really figure out Turpin, get him more in space, figure out Turpin, Jonathan Mingo in on some of these running plays, and also Jonathan Mingo in on some of these gritty 3rd and 3 plays. Get him in there, bigger wide receiver, bigger body, bigger catch radius than both Jalen Tolbert and Kevontae Turpin. Cowboys got a lot to figure out. They have a lot to figure out. So the Cowboys don't need to bring in anybody. We already are talented. We're already talented. We don't need to be bringing in anybody right now. We need to figure out the right combination. And again, so as it pertains to Jerry, and he said wrong. Stephen White, what's going on? Good to see you in the congregation. Mario Johnson said, love the way we played, but disappointed. Yeah, I think Jerry's in the same place.
It really was a tale of 2 halves. The first half defense, you didn't really get any stops. The second half offense didn't really do anything in terms of production of points on the scoreboard. Is there one that you walked away with a little bit more concerned with than the other?
No, I liked both of them. Had some improvement, of course, but both of them had some things that the positive overweighs the negatives. I thought we did a good job against a good team offensively, and had ourselves in a position to, like I said, win the game. We didn't make some plays at the end that we can expect to make, and that's where I get my solace right there. On defense, they're a solid team that uses that quarterback to run that ball, and really, I thought under the circumstances, we made our adjustments and played a good second half.
Jerry Jones joining us here on 105 Through the Fan. Jerry, what did you make of CeeDee Lamb's struggles in the second half, and then his response to it during the practice week so far?
Well,
Now, the one thing I want to say about a tale of 2 halves, even though it was a tale of 2 halves, especially if you're talking about defensively in some respects, it really wasn't necessarily a tale of 2 halves as it applies to the offense, as much as it wasn't the offense was not executing. The offense shot itself in the foot because Shotty made the right calls. The outcome just wasn't good. Jake Ferguson missed. George Pickens with the personal foul. Miles Sanders with the fumble. The weather delay. CeeDee Lamb with the drops. That was really the tail, but as far as what he called, it was great. It was great. And Mr. James is awesome. I brought this up today in my video at the end. I mean, boy, the reality is, Brian Schottenheimer, man, this was Vic Fangio. I mean, Brian kind of did him in. Brian kind of did him in. And I think on the next game, he really going to do him in, because by that time, man, George Pickens, the Cowboys should be doing everything with George Pickens by the time they play him the next time. George Pickens needs to be in motion. Him and CD on the same side. But George Pickens should be going short routes, intermediate routes. He should be doing some of the pick plays. I mean, they should be doing all kinds of things with George Pickens by the time we see the Eagles again. So, I mean, man, I'm just telling us. I just think they did really well. I just think they did really well. I just think they had some unfortunate drops and a turnover. The big Rumbowski said the stoppage in play messed up both teams. I think it did too, to a degree. Definitely helped out the defenses. But I really think they did a very good job. Alfredo Morales, El Chuco in the house. What's going on with you? I just think they did a really good job. So
look at each play on its own rather than look at a group of plays, because nothing in his background or any place suggests that he can't catch the football. And so I just look at each one of them, and without getting any way here, they just haven't ever made a receiver that doesn't have a drop.
Carl Alder, what's going
He
on?
just got 2 or 3 there at the wrong time and in succession there. So that doesn't concern me generally about whether C.D. Lamb can catch the ball. It was unfortunate because at that particular juncture, we could have had some better offense in the second half had we made those plays late.
Jerry, I wanted to ask you about Spitgate, and this goes back to your days at Arkansas. I saw that they played their final game at War Memorial, where you played a bunch of games.
Yeah, I
at
noticed
Little
that,
Rock,
Mike Breezy.
And do you remember anybody getting spit on when you were playing? Was it like a common thing back then?
No, but spitting was very common. As a matter of fact, one of the things I remember about football was early days of football of a year, you didn't get water. And so you had to
Uncle Charles.
remember lemons that you stuck in the webbing of your helmet. And they didn't give you water at practice, or just that was the vogue thing, and that was the thing that people thought was the way to get in shape. But I can remember
Yes,
all
sir, Ron
sorts of
Hanna.
things going on with sucking lemons and all the kinds of things that go on. But let's get right to what we're talking about. We're talking about a gesture of disdain, or a gesture that it's meant to incite. That's what we're talking about here, not the actual spitting, in my mind. And so obviously there's no place for that, and they paid a heck of a price. That is their best defensive player. They got to sit that game out. That's as strong as it gets on deterring that kind of behavior.
Jerry, did you have an opinion on whether there should be further?
The crazy thing is, though, the Philadelphia Eagles actually won this thing on Jalen Carter. They absolutely won this thing. Jalen Carter not playing against the Kansas City Chiefs probably would have definitely equaled a loss. I still think they're going to get beat against the Kansas City Chiefs, Kansas City being a home. But they won the game. I mean, let this sink in. Without Jalen Carter, we missed a golden opportunity. Golden opportunity. Big Rumbowski, he said you only get 17 games. Yeah, I know. Now, think about what I said. It's a preseason game that counts. Yeah, we can't pretend the first game was a preseason game, because it can end up being the one that determines whether you get into the postseason or even win the division. That's why I put a caveat. Preseason games that count. The next 2 games are preseason games that count. And what I mean by that is they got to get it figured out. And I really think they got to get it figured out by game 3. Because the Green Bay game, yeah, that's where the season starts. The season has already started. But the Green Bay game, it really going to start. Oh, it's really going to start with the Green Bay game. Because the Cowboys, they better be 2-1 by the time they see Green Bay. Better not be 1-2. Better be 2-1. And I believe they can definitely take that to 3-1. But they're going to have to be hitting on all cylinders, because that Green Bay game, all these games are going to have ramifications. That Green Bay game especially, serious ramifications. Got a funny feeling the Cowboys are going to see the Green Bay Packers again down there in the playoffs. And the one thing you want again is that you want to be in Dallas again. We do not want to be down in Green Bay in the cold, playing them in that doggone ice bowl down there. We need to get them up here, up in this dome again. And so this Green Bay game is going to be a big deal. It is. So I want us to be really ready, have this thing the way we want it by the time we see him. The defense line popped better once Nealon was in the game. Nisi, exactly. Let's get a super chat in right here. Nisi. Nealon played his butt off. He really did. Star Guardian X, what's going on? Appreciate that super chat. Star Guardian X said if Shotty was coaching any other team, they would be telling the rest of the league, watch out for this news coach. But it's Cowboys, no surprise. Not only that, let me tell you something about this league too. They have a bias towards younger offensive coordinators. They love it. They absolutely love it. Brian, an older guy, a lot of people have been betting against him. Comes out against the Philadelphia Eagles, he looked doggone good. And so we'll see Brian Schottenheimer. We'll see where we are around game. I say we'll see where we are by the bye week of this year. But because I think the Cowboys are going to come out the gate roaring out of that bye week because I'm sure DeMario and Overshawn will be playing. Ron Hanna said, man, I can't wait till Mingo comes back because I see him, CD, and George being a headache for defenses to defend that size and speed. Yep. Quan 3 said, bring Cooper out of retirement to mentor them boys. Yeah, Lisa Worley, what's going on? She said, what's up, chat? Travis Beck said, you're right about that. Dak's eyes is on a mission. That mission is football in January. He cares less what the media says about him. He's been a baller. Yeah, man, he's got a look in his eyes. It's crazy. Big Rombowski, it's simple. Philadelphia said defensively they were not going to let Pickens beat them. That's true. So it fell on Lamb and Ferguson, and they dropped it more than once. And that's why, for me, Big Rombowski, Brian can't allow a team to take George Pickens out of the game anymore. And the way you stop them from doing that, put that joker in motion. Put him in motion. Move him around. Put him in the slot. Do whatever you got to do. You don't let a team take away a weapon like him because you're letting teams dictate to you what you're going to do. I mean, if you're going to let them take away Pickens, you're just basically letting them take us back to what we were before. Don't let them take away Pickens. Don't let them take him away. Put both of them on the same side. Overload one side. Y'all remember the thing I showed y'all last week? How do you beat a Vic Fangio type defense? That cover two shell, basically kind of like quarters. They like to overload each side of the field. 4 defenders on one side, 3 on another side. Their goal is to always have more defenders on each side than you have people going out on routes. What did I tell you how you beat them? You overload one side of the field. That's how you beat that defense. You make them move safeties. You make them move. You make them realign their linebackers. You make them move. You make them move out of every formation. You overload a side with the tight end, the Z, the H. You overload those sides. You even put the running back on that side, or you give that play action running towards the side where those wide receivers are, and you let him even run out run out on a pass pattern. You overload one side and you isolate. You isolate absolutely one wide receiver on each side. That's how you beat them. That's how you beat that Vic Fangio. You don't let them get that cloud. When you let him get that cloud, he can take away a player. You don't let him get it. You don't let him get it. You don't. You make them, you force them to put your players, and the Cowboys are so talented. You put pressure on teams. You put pressure on teams to isolate players from time to time. And as talented and as fast as the Cowboys are, they're going to be a problem for every team.
Their punishment on whether Carter deserved more suspension time?
I don't. There's a big emphasis this year that we specifically focus and address anything that looks like behavior that we don't want associated with the field. That's one of them, of course. And so it wouldn't surprise me either way because it paid a pretty high price for not having him in the ballgame.
Cowboys owner and general manager Jerry Jones.
Now, again, the only problem is with them paying a high price. They still won the game. See, when you make them pay the price needs to be paid. The price needs to be paid. And what I mean by the price needs to be paid, the price to be paid is a loss. To play without Jalen Carter and win, that's a victory. That's an absolute victory for the Eagles. There's no other way to slice it. It's a victory for the Eagles to lose without Jalen Carter. It's a victory for the Eagles to win with Jalen Carter not being on the field. They didn't really pay a hefty price, Jerry.
Joining us here on Sean and RJ on 105 through the Fan. Jerry, how did you feel about the performance of the pass rushers that you guys are expecting to step up in the wake of Micah Parsons' departure?
Well, overall, we got a pressure out there of about 42.5%.
Now, this thing that he's talking about right here, I'm going to revisit this. I'm going to revisit this thing, this graph out here about the Cowboys having a pressure rate of 42.5%. I am not going to be a hypocrite on this. Y'all heard me talk about this last year. I'm going to save this to when we get to the segment. But I'm not going to be a hypocrite on this. He said 42.5% pressure rate. Keep that in your mind. I'm pretty sure some of y'all already seen that.
That was one of our strongest games in a long time on the pressure that we had against Philadelphia. That's good. That's real good. If we can continue that up and continue in our play style, our scheme of those linebackers do a good job of filling those gaps. I really like the way we played on the interior. We've got a really exciting look inside that I'm excited about with our big ends, Keeneland and Sam Williams. Thought they really did a good job in the pressure area. And then, of course, Kenny Clark played lights out. He actually, him and Dak made the highest grades on the team as far as how they graded out. And he deserved that kind of grade. And then we've got Jay Toya, who I'm real excited about from UCLA. And, of course, Osa and Solomon, all those guys played well in there. And you can look forward to them playing well in the scheme that I think we're going to have real improvement in our pressure.
I think it is official. This is the end of Osa Odigizua in Dallas. It is the end for Osa Odigizua in Dallas. The issue is do they trade him? It is the end for Osa Odigizua. I do believe it. Cue ball up in this thing. Bruh, what's going on with your bruh? Sean up in here. Timothy Govin, what's going on? Good to see y'all up in here. Man, I'm telling you, I believe this is the end for Mazi. I think it's the end. Robert M., 31 up in this thing. What's going on with you? G, he said Dallas has a roster spot available now that Winfrey is on injured reserve, yeah? Who do you think should get that spot? Running back, wide receiver, or some other position? You know what? I want to see Jaden Blue. Man, I don't care what they talking about, these inconsistencies. I want to see Jaden Blue. Okay, send him a message. You want to send him a message through the media. Send him a message. You let him sit down the first game. But doggone it, get this dude out of here. Get him out of here on the field. And let's see what this dude is. Let's see if he can take that constructive criticism. Let's see if he can take that constructive criticism and come out here on the field and put it to work. We got to see what this dude is, because I'm telling us, by game 4, we're going to have to make some decisions after the Green Bay game. And we don't want to wait until we get right up against the trade deadline before we start doing something. We have really got to make this. I think after the quarter of the season is up, that's where we got to make some decisions. If we're truly making a run for the Super Bowl, we got to make some decisions.
Jerry
Jones.
Jones.
Have real improvement in our run stop. I think we're going to have improvement across the line here.
Jerry Jones with us for the first time this 2025 season here on Sean and RJ, the official home of the Cowboys, 105.3 The Fan. What did you think of Micah's Green Bay debut, and were you surprised how he was able to move around out there with the back issue?
Yeah.
Well, again,
It's amazing, ain't it? It's amazing, ain't it? It's amazing how Michael Parsons' back issue. It's amazing, ain't it? Tell me anything you want to. I'm done with the Michael Parsons discussion. I don't care what they say. I don't believe a word they said about this man's back. I don't care what diagram they showed. I don't care what they said about this man. I don't believe it. I absolutely don't believe it. The story was bogus from the beginning. More power to him, success, except against the Cowboys.
we're all interested in that game and how Micah played. Not one thing unexpected for me as to how he played. And he's gotten on a good team up there in Green Bay. We're going to get to have him right here, and we'll get a firsthand look at the entire team, not just Micah. So from what I saw of him, I thought he was able to get in there and play without having any influence from his back. And I say that with a straight face, I do. And having said that, wish him well.
Jerry, when you trade
the Cowboys.
Well, yeah, exactly. When you trade a player, any player really, but especially one as impactful as Mike or Herschel back in the day, like how long do you follow their production and what they do with their next team? Like how closely do you monitor what he's doing?
If a player has had quite a bit of time with the Cowboys, and he's in the game, I follow him really good, and it gives me a focal point if I'm watching that particular play against two teams that the Cowboys aren't involved in. So I do that quite often with most of our players. And obviously, since I've been involved with the Cowboys, I think it's not an exaggeration, but I think the number's approaching 4,000 players that we've had since I've been involved with the Cowboys, 4,000. And so with free agency and movement, you've had over the years a lot of those players playing on different teams. It's not a bad thing. So, when I see a player, I remember him usually very well and look for him. If I happen to have the information in front of me, I can anticipate by knowing that he's in the game. And we had several players make plays all over the league this past weekend that had been with the Cowboys.
Jerry, there was a reported offer over the weekend that Philadelphia had made in a trade for Micah. Was that a flat no, or was there a counter offer that would have been made?
No counter offer. And to the interest, the thought all along was to see where the interest level was. And that was very important. And from the get-go, that was an effort on our part to chum up interest. And that's a part of what was going on during those months that we were talking about Micah. And as it would happen, as it always happens, once that interest started really peaking, then you started having that phone ring. And that's exactly what the plan was, to see if that phone would ring and the proposition be there enough to for us to make the move. It was always a case of we understand what kind of player Micah is. He's outstanding player, great player. He's a great player. But if the principle specifically is with our system the way we have it today, if we can get 4, 5, 6 players for one player, that's better for our opportunity to win the thing. And that's what it was about. And it didn't surprise me. We had others call. The closer we got to the time we traded Micah, the more the phone started ringing. And that's what we wanted.
Jerry Jones with us here on 105 Through the Fan.
Really, when you think about it, what the Philadelphia Eagles were offering the Cowboys, that's really what they should have got from the Green Bay Packers. I think the Eagles were offering like 2 number 2s, a 3 and a 5 or something to that degree. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think you should ever trade a player inside of the division, especially a player as good as Micah Parsons. Boy, I'm going to tell you this. If they would have offered the Cowboys like 2 1s or let's say they offered the Cowboys 3 1s. 3 1s, a 3 and a 5, and they'd have gave the Cowboys Jalen Carter. Whew. Man, let me tell you something. That right there, that would have been tough. I don't know about y'all. That would have been tough for me. that would have been tough for me. I'm even going out on a limb. If they'd have offered 2 2s, a 3 and a 5, and Jalen Carter, I got to sleep a couple of days on that one. I got to sleep a couple of days on that, man. Because what Green Bay gave us, is Kenny Clark is awesome. I love the Kenny Clark pickup. It's the draft picks I'm kind of questioning. You could only get 2 number 1s. Kenny Clark was vital. I love Kenny Clark. I wouldn't put that back. But, man, 2 number 2s, a 3 and a 5 is what you should have got. You only got 2 number 2s. Think the Cowboys should have got a little bit more. Yeah. Ron Henderson, I agree, G. We didn't make them pay, but next time we meet up, it's going to be basically a playoff game atmosphere. It is a playoff game. Yes, sir. It's a playoff game. It's a playoff game. It absolutely is. It's a playoff game. And I really do think the Cowboys. Oh, did I say? What did I say? I said something about Osa. If I said something about Osa, I definitely meant Mozzie. Because we ain't talking about nothing about Mozzie. I mean Osa. It is over for Mozzie, for sure. I'm sorry if I said Osa. Yeah, every game starting with the Green Bay Packers game to me is a playoff game. I don't think the Cowboys don't have. There are not going to be any more games. Oh, yeah, sorry, guys. If I said Osa, I meant Mozzie. It is officially over for Mozzie. That's what I meant. Yeah, it's officially over for Mozzie. All right, let's see.
Jerry, a lot of fans were asking about Mozzie Smith and Jaden Blue being inactive on
It's over for Mozzie, y'all. It is over for Mozzie.
Thursday. What are your thoughts on not having them active for the game?
Well, Blues kind of had off and on time with us because of injury. And his status may have him ready to go, but he still needs to crack that lineup, and we'll just see how we determine that as time goes along. And the other player was, which one?
Jerry,
Blue and who?
Mozzie Smith.
And Mozzie, I suspect we got out of there pretty clean. My guess would be that it would look pretty similar to last weekend.
Jerry, you guys, obviously with the Micah deal or the Micah trade, you guys have talked about how you guys have some more flexibility now. You get the Deron Bland extension done before the season. Is your in-house focus now in terms of extensions? Is that focus now on Tyler Smith?
Well, I think it's fair to say we'd like to get Tyler signed, but I wouldn't necessarily say, and maybe I should use the word exclusively on Tyler, but in general, we're constantly looking at areas that we might do some work on.
Hey, C-Base, C-Base, are you at least making a counteroffer with the Philadelphia Eagles? Man, I'm telling you, the offer the Philadelphia Eagles made is actually the offer that should have been made for Micah Parsons. You don't get just 2. I think you get 4. I think 2, the 2 are the 2 number ones. Yeah, okay, you're going to give us 2 number ones, but I need a couple of more picks, man. I don't care if they're 5th and 6th round picks. I got to have 2 more picks for Micah Parsons. And as a matter of fact, I want 2 picks, and I need somewhere around a 3, 4, or 5. I need a 3 or 4, and I need something after that. I got to get 4 picks for Micah Parsons. But I'm telling you, if they'd have offered 4 picks and Jalen Carter, I got to sleep on it. I got to sleep on it. Boy, Niecy, come on. Hold on, Niecy. You ain't got to sleep on it, Niecy, if they offered you 4 picks and Jalen Carter. Let me tell you something. You mad at Jalen Carter when he's spitting on your quarterback, but you ain't mad at Jalen Carter on your team spitting on somebody else's quarterback. Shoot. Man, let me tell you something. Boy, Jalen Carter and 4 picks. Boy, I'd have to think hard. I'm just telling you, I'd have to think hard on this thing, man. I'd at least have to go to sleep on it. Or I at least gotta send a stupid dumb counteroffer. I mean a stupid dumb counteroffer. I at least gotta say, okay, give me 3 number 1 picks. Give me a 3, a 5, and a 3. That's 6 picks, 3 years in a row. I mean, that's what is that? 2 number 1s, 3 years in a row. Plus I got those other picks. And you give me Jalen Carter. I at least got to throw that in there. I got to come back stupid dumb. I'm sorry, man. I at least got to say, hey, man, let me tell you, I just got to see how far you going to take it. I'm just telling you. I got to see how far they going to take it. Y'all tell me what y'all think. I got to at least see how far they going to take it. I mean, you play stupid games with me, you're going to get stupid prizes. Shoot, you in the division? And you want to come talking about, okay, you want to play stupid games? Let's play stupid games. I'm just saying. I mean, I even might would have threw in, hey, okay, you give me 2 number 2s, a 3, a 5, Jalen Carter, and your best linebacker. I'm just telling you. You want to play stupid games? We finna play stupid games. We finna see who blink first. Because I'm telling you, you got some nerves to be asking to make a trade inside of the division. And if you gonna make a trade inside of the division, shoot, bet you this, I'm leaving your team crippled. I'm leaving your team crippled. I'm asking you for everything short of Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley. I'm leaving your team crippled.
The roster extending those contracts. Now, that's a mouthful. The real world is that there's always work to be done relative to contracts in this day and time on the roster. So to answer that question, you're talking about an ongoing process that...
Boomer D said he saw Mozzie at his door with an Amazon uniform on. Terry Posey said this man's about to apply for Whataburger. Man, I'm hoping Mozzie. Man, I'm hoping the Cowboys call up the Los Angeles Chargers, man. I really do. I hope they call up the Los Angeles Chargers. Maybe Harbaugh is willing to make even if it's a 7th round pick, maybe he'll give the Cowboys something for Mozzie. I just think Mozzie needs a new I just think he needs a new atmosphere. I just don't think he ever worked for the Cowboys.
Is continually talking to players, agents, considering whether we should extend or not. All of that, I can't emphasize enough, is a constant, ongoing process. Labor itself, labor being the players, which is a kind of an arm's length way of saying it, but that is a process at the league level that goes on 365 days a year and literally has staffs with the players' union as well as the NFL staffs that would exceed possibly 70 to 100 people that are working every day on labor issues. Carry that right on down to the club, and every day when you're dealing with the number of players you've got, 53 on the roster, and you're dealing with in the teams now in the practice squad, it's a continual thing is working the players. There's hardly a week goes by we don't try out players. And so you don't have a specific day that you're necessarily working on your roster for now or in the future.
Jerry Jones.
Cowboys are going to sign Tyler Smith to a monster deal. I'm going to tell y'all something that a lot of people are not understanding. The Cowboys actually didn't try to take Michael Parsons down to the wire. They actually didn't try to do it, and a lot of people won't give the Cowboys credit for it. They actually didn't try to take them down to the wire. They didn't. The Cowboys actually tried to get Michael Parsons' deal done early. The problem that fell through with that deal is that Jerry and Michael negotiated not once, but twice, then with Steven, got that thing to a very good number, only for then Michael to try to tell Jerry, don't call me no more, and then say, let David Mulugeta come in and say, okay, now we're negotiating, and Jerry just said, we're not doing this. Jerry just said, we're not doing this. Jerry thought they had a deal, and Jerry wasn't moving on that deal, and I totally understand why he wasn't moving off that deal. I totally understand it. Jerry tried to get Michael done early, and I'm saying that to say they're determined to get Ty Smith done early. They're determined. I'm thinking Ty Smith within the next 3 to 4 weeks, if not earlier. They're going to give this dude a monster deal, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. All right, let me get this super chat here real quick. Timothy Govin, appreciate that super chat. Timothy Govin, exactly. Jerry wanted to get rid of Mike after Michael lied to Jerry regarding his contract. I believe so too. A lot of people don't understand. Jerry did try to get Michael done early. The issue was Jerry wasn't going to let Michael, after he negotiated that thing, he wasn't going to let his agent come back and add more onto it. He wasn't going to do it. I don't blame Jerry on it. But I tell you this, shoot, TJ Tyler, he like me. He said, ain't nothing to think about. He said, I'm making that trade if they offer Jalen Carter 2 first-round picks, a second-round pick, a third-round pick. I'm sending Michael immediately. Shoot, me too. Man, I'm taking that chance. Derek Poe said, buddy would have spit on her. Shoot, man, I'm going to tell you, you come with a dumb, you going to come with a dumb, you want to offer me, you want to come and try to get Michael Parsons. Shoot, I'm taking it. I'm taking it. Hey, Big Ron Bowski, I'm telling him, I'm getting Jalen Carter. I want Jalen Carter, and I want your best linebacker. You going to come with a dumb offer? I'm going to come back with a dumber offer. Man, I'm telling you, you get a fish on the line, man. You got to try to bring that thing in. Shoot. Like I said, it's one thing when he's spitting on your quarterback, but he on your team spitting on another quarterback, you defended him. Boy, if Jalen Carter was on our team and he spit on a player's shoe, we all defending that joker. We'd all be defending him. Sean said, he said that's why Carter spit on Dak. He said, Dak probably told Carter, we ain't want you in the trade. Man, shoot. Columbus Hill said they could have dealt Parsons back in March. Now, let's understand this part. They couldn't have traded him back in March because they didn't want to trade him back in March. They actually thought they had a deal. Jerry thought they had a deal in April. See, people don't understand this thing. The Cowboys didn't wait. Michael and Jerry didn't get this thing done until around Aprilish. And so Jerry thought they had a deal. Jerry thought Michael was going to relent. David Mulugeta thought Jerry was going to relent. They both played chicken. Didn't work out. Worked out. I think it worked out for both of them, though. I really do. I really think it worked out for both of them. I do. I think it worked out for both of them. I'm glad of how it turned out. I think the Cowboys are going to be better for it.
Explaining it all right here on Sean and RJ 105.3 The Fan. Jerry, is it tougher to get a top-of-market deal done versus some of the depth guys? Is it a lot more difficult when you're talking about a Dak, a Lamb, a Micah, and a Tyler with how well he started?
They're rare.
Alfredo, I made a mistake.
Rare.
I meant to say Mazza.
When they're really got that kind of consideration coming and going, whether it be the player that specifically you're talking about, let's just use Herschel Walker. That's rare air in terms of how those come down. And we were dealing in rare air with Micah. And so those are not hard to do, they're just rare to do. And recognizing because they have a chance to be so meaningful. Notice I say a chance. There's a lot of data on every end of this thing that show those work out and they don't work out. That fits us. It fit us. I'll assure you right now, we don't make that trade unless we think it's in our overall best interest to win and win now.
Yep.
So and again, I'm not trying to be defensive. I'm just trying to be factual. We for weeks and, if you will, months, really months and months, have had some of the result in our minds as we run the Cowboys.
Jerry.
Now, Jerry says something. I really think this to be true. I really do believe the Cowboys were already talking about the possibility of trading Micah Parsons. And I'm going to tell you who I think the holdup was. I think the holdup was Jerry Jones. That's who I think the holdup was. Jerry Jones loves him some Micah Parsons. I do believe they were already talking about it, and I do, at the end of the day, without having a long discussion on it, I do think this was the best move for the Cowboys, and I think it was the best move for Micah Parsons. I believe it was the best move for Micah Parsons. I think, and I don't think we're going to see totally who necessarily won on the deal, but I just say the Cowboys won on the deal because of what the locker room is. I think Micah Parsons wins on the deal because if he didn't want to deal with Jerry no more and you wanted to get paid, then you won on the deal. You got what you wanted. So I think they both won. And I'll tell you this, I am so looking forward. Okay, C-Bay said Michael Irvin is live. Okay, after he gets live, maybe we'll listen to some of it after he's off the live. After this is all said and done between all this is said and done, we're going to see how it turns out over the next 2 to 3 years. We're going to see the effect of this for the next 2 or 3 years because the Cowboys got two first-round draft picks out of this. They might parlay this into some trades, get like 2 twos. You never know what they may do with this. So I'm excited to see how it all turns out, but I am happy. I am happy how everything is right now. All right, what's going on with my sister Lisa Worley? She says she out of here. What's going on? Y'all stop messing with my sister Lisa Worley. All right, let's go. Let's listen to the rest of this thing with Jerry.
Asking this for clarification.
Jerry's not saying anything that's surprising us. Very boring interview.
Because I don't think we've gotten a clear answer and nothing from the league. But a lot of people and former players have said, that's a CBA violation the way Jerry is doing it. You have to have the agent involved. Can you, and we haven't had any response from the league or obviously any action. Can you clarify for us what the rule is and why there is no violation?
There is no violation.
Nope, there's
Period.
not.
I have all the authority in the world, and the player has all the authority in the world to
Yep.
negotiate directly with me. There is no equivocation there. Can I work through an agent or an attorney? An attorney can do the very same thing. Do it all the time. It usually ends up a little of both on a pretty high-profile player. But there is no violation.
Nope.
I have every right. Can you imagine if you didn't have the right when you're the one that decides whether to trade him or not? How could you not have the right? And so the point is that there's no equivocation here and been no rule violation. And certainly I'm trying to give a third-party affirmation here, but I will 100 times the fine or the penalty. I will 100 times it if I were ever assessed on anything I did with Michael relative to the communication or non-communication with an agent. I'll 100 times it and give it to the Salvation Army.
Wow.
Jerry, last one for you here. We were all really impressed with Trayvon Diggs coming back from the injury, playing well, we felt like, against Philadelphia. He was coming back in kind of a reserve role, though. Is he ready to return to full-time play this week against the Giants?
Well, I think he's ready, yes. And you're talking about Trayvon Diggs?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
Yes, sir.
Diggs.
Yes, he's ready to play.
Jerry, heck of a debut. I know
Thanks, guys.
it wasn't the outcome you wanted. Go and get it against the Giants. Thank you.
Boy, we watched him play, and it's as it should be. These are tight games. All of them will be.
Jerry Jones, first Tuesday of the brand new season, brought to you by your North Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas here on Sean and RJ.
All right. Jerry Jones, very boring interview. I don't know how else to slice it. Very boring interview. I mean, Jerry didn't really say anything. I mean, Jerry really didn't say anything that was mind-blowing. So, hey, it is what it is. And I like boring Jerry. I like boring Jerry. I like boring Jerry. Jerry didn't really reveal anything that was new, nothing bombshell. Nothing like that. Jerry just being boring. I like boring Jerry. That to me tells me that this team, and this is the thing I like about this team, they're all on the same page and they are focused on football. And I think that bodes well for this team. I think the Cowboys are going to continue. I think the Cowboys are going to continue to add to this team. I'm not worried about anything with this team. I'm not worried about anything with this team. I think the Cowboys are going to be fine. They got an article up here about quarterback Cowboys questions that matter after week 1. We'll listen to some of it. If it's interesting, we'll get all the way through. If not, we'll just kibosh it, and then we're going to get to our quarterback pressure discussion. Appreciate y'all rocking with me. Let's get a few more in here. Ty Howard up in here. What's going on? Katharina Kiss, what's going on? Richard Owens up in this thing. My man, Ice Cold Cowboy. What's going on? Roy Mays up in this thing. What's going on? Hallelujah up in here. What's going on? Sean, what's going on? Brian Worley, what's going on? Good to see everybody. Robert Paulson up in here. Kevin Elwas, good to see y'all. Good to see y'all. Again, Richard Turner up in this thing. Yeah, boring is good. I like it. Boring is good. This is exactly what we want from Jerry going forward. Boring is good. 105.3, the fan might not like it, but I absolutely love it. All right, let's check out some of these questions real quick before we get to this next hot topic, because this one I'm about to go somewhere with this quarterback pressure thing and the NFL power rankings. Y'all hold on to your seats. We're gonna really get into a heavy discussion on those.
I've got some Cowboys questions that matter following the opener. First question for you guys. Were you sad to see Micah Parsons in a Packers jersey?
No.
Because Trayvon Diggs, he quote tweeted a highlight and he's like, this can't be real. Wake me up from the dream.
No.
Did it make you sad to see that go down?
Yeah, it was weird because but that I would feel like, dang.
Stadium, seeing the different jersey number, the different colors, as like,
Felt like that was the game-winning play.
Yeah, no,
I know y'all tired of hearing about the Michael
Jared
Parsons
Goff
stuff, so we're gonna
struggled
move
with
past that.
defense. Like that entire defense made it very difficult for Jared Goff. So like, okay, dude, like I get it.
This team run the ball effectively. Now, they ran.
Not too, or will it just be no? Look at all these sacks that he has.
Can this Cowboys team run the ball effectively? Now, they ran for 119 yards on 22 attempts, which is 5 yards per carry. That was the highest Cowboys per carry average in a season opener in 11 years. So that's the positive. Obviously, we've discussed if you take out the one run, it's more like 3.4 yards, but that's not how statistics work. Do you believe this team can effectively run the ball?
Yes.
I do. I'm interested to see it with Blue.
Yes.
Do you think that Miles Sanders touchdown is a touchdown or play is a touchdown if it's Blue?
For sure. I mean, if Blue makes the first part of the play,
Right. No,
I
you're
have
absolutely right about that.
no doubt he's taking that in.
He's the only one with
I agree.
with what I think is that getaway speed.
Home run hitter.
And we haven't had, truly that since Pollard. I think that had that kind of just, he's gone. I do think that the offensive line, as it grows, is going to be better. I did, Kevin, rewatching. I saw some things I really liked from Terrence Steele. There were some other things that I was like, dadgummit. But there were some really good moments. Guyton still has some growth. But, man, here's what I'll say. You get in within the 20, I think you can just put your running back right behind the Cooper Beebe and say go. And that's what I'm looking forward to is let's get into that 20 and see if we can be a better red zone team than we've been the last
I think the
couple of
Cowboys
years.
can run the ball.
Alec, do you think this team can run the ball effectively?
I think they can because you do have Blue coming back hopefully this week. And, the idea that we've had is that you are going to have that, third down back, that guy that can catch out of the backfield and can get you a big chunk play whenever you need it. And he didn't even play week one and the run game still looked decent enough. So without him, I thought it looked good enough. If even the idea that he could get you one, 10-plus yard play per game, if that idea actually exists and that comes to life, then it can be consistent.
Can I ask a question regarding that question but what both of us said there?
Yes.
Do you think we're going to have problems securing the ball this year?
No.
I mean, it's hard for me to say no based off of that and Blues history. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I'm a little like, all right, we'll see later down the road. All right, I'll give you. Let's make that a problem whenever it becomes a problem. Not now, Corey. I got you.
Now, next, you just kind of started to reference it. Could this offensive line for the Cowboys really click and be a strength? The Cowboys' offensive front did not give up a sack against the Eagles. Last time Dallas held an opponent to no sacks was the Giants game last November, and there were some encouraging things there.
I'll give a lot of credit to Dak on the no sacks part.
I agree with that.
Getting rid of the ball when he's supposed to instead of holding on to it a little too long. That was like he was really effective at that. But there were other times where that pocket was
Appreciate
really nice
it,
and
Mr.
clean.
Get Dirty. He said,
And
bless this
that's
channel.
all
Yes,
you
sir.
can ask for, especially against that defense. Now, if Jalen Carter's there, is it that different?
That's a fair question.
Who knows? Either way, game one, he wasn't there. That was his own stupid fault. That's his.
Sure.
So the Cowboys took advantage of it in that way. But I do think that they can. I need Guyton to grow up even faster than he did already because game one he looked pretty good. And also Tyler Smith, I don't know, man. He had one moment where he reached out and kind of was off balance, and then it created a hole. I'm just not used to seeing him make that kind of play. But I think they're going to be quality, man.
I'm right there with Corey. I think they are going to be quality, and I think it is only going to get better as the year goes on. And what's unfortunately going to be the reality is we're going to have to keep looking back at Guyton's injury in camp and wonder, anytime there is a pressure given up or anytime there is a sack given up, we're going to be like, well, if he didn't miss that time, he was looking good in camp. But I did see enough, looking back at Thursday's game, I was impressed that week 1 looked as clean as it did across the offensive line. It wasn't perfect by any means, but it looked cleaner than I certainly expected it. So I do think the expectations just kind of move forward going forward.
Now, last question for you right here, specifically about the Cowboys. Will they be able to figure out a way to come back in the fourth quarter? Now, in the last 5 years, and we talked about this some on Friday, the Cowboys were 4-33 when trailing after 3 quarters. Now they're 4-34. I'm not saying you have to be 500 or anything like that, although Josh Allen could probably figure it out. Do you
So they're
think...
only good when they're ahead?
Yes.
No, that's not going to change.
Oh, man. That's not great.
Well, you have to be a disciplined team to win in the fourth quarter. When you're down, you have to be disciplined to come back and make plays happen. You got to have a little luck on your side, too, sometimes. Hell, look at last night for sure. Some lucky things happened for Buffalo to get back in position to be able to win that game last night. But you have to be disciplined to make those comebacks happen and not have sloppy things happen late in the fourth quarter. What I saw from the Cowboys in the first quarter of the football game made me think they are going to be more disciplined this year. I just believe it right now. Last year was kind of a weird season, obviously, with the coach's job in limbo, and a lot of guys probably like, I don't care. But this year it does seem like they are more accountable to each other. So I think that they could get better at it. But man, that's a terrible stat right there.
Alec
painted the perfect picture there, as you usually do with football majors.
Thank you.
Discipline is going to be the biggest thing that either leads them to success in the fourth quarter like that or prevents them from having it. And I do think that it's something that at least I know everybody here has pretty much talked about it, but I've harped on it a lot, is that this staff seems like they have motives. It seems like they have some sort of ideology that they've really instilled into this group of guys, that we have a plan, we need to execute that plan week in and week out, and there's no reason we shouldn't be doing that if everybody just does their job. And with a Schottenheimer group, I do think that's going to be something that stands out, and I do think it's going to lead to situations where maybe you're a watermelon kick away from winning a game that you shouldn't be winning. You saw it happen a couple times in the McCarthy era. I think you could see it happen a lot more with this group.
Now, speaking of winning games that you probably shouldn't, I'm going to go back to general NFL for just a second, and let's talk about the Cincinnati Bengals.
Gavin Dawson, NFL?
Yes.
The general.
The Bengals and Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow finished week 1.
All right. They asked some pretty good questions. I'm not really worried about the Cowboys and coming back in the fourth quarter. I mean, some of this stuff is kind of skewed when you think about it in the grand scheme of things. Why wouldn't you want to be playing with leads most of the time anyway? I mean, why wouldn't you? I mean, I don't know. I don't know why you wouldn't want to be. And most of the time, if you're a good team, you're playing with a lead anyway. And that kind of happens to the Cowboys, it seems like, quite a bit over the last few seasons. So not really worried about that. This game, they could have came back, but it was a lot of self-inflicted wounds. So we'll see where we go from there. All right, so let's go on to this next subject matter. This is where I really want to get to today. I want to get to this issue of quarterback pressures. I talked about this last year. I don't know if y'all remember, but I was talking about this issue with quarterback pressures and why we have to be very careful, because even when Michael Parsons was here, that is a very deceitful stat. We have to be very careful with this whole quarterback pressure moniker. And the reason why you have to be careful with this quarterback pressure moniker, because it's not so much of your quarterback pressure. It's when do you get that pressure and what is the result of that pressure? And so they've been pulling up let's see. They've been putting up these crazy doggone, man, I can't even read half this stuff. I'm just telling you, I like my math simple. I don't deal in algebra and stuff. I like to keep my stuff simple. But they're talking about team defense pressure efficiency. And so one of the top teams in the league, number 2, was the Dallas Cowboys. 42.5% pressure rate. The Pittsburgh Steelers, of course, were number 1. But what bothers me is when you start talking about this stuff like pressure rate, for example. My question becomes, what is the result of the pressure rate or of the pressures? What is the result? I need results. You got to tell me that if we got 42.5% pressure rate, now you got to tell me what was the result of the pressure. Tell me what was the play. What play did we make? What sack did we get? When was that sack? How much yard? What was the result? What score did we stop? And most importantly, did you win the game? This is the stuff we don't talk about enough. We were 3rd best in the league last year, if I'm not mistaken, as it applied to pressure rate. We were 3rd in the league. We didn't even make the playoffs. This stuff, I get it. I get it. I even like some of it. But I think where we have to be careful is not to overvalue it. Don't overvalue it to the point of it's a consolation prize of, yeah, man, you know, we got this high pressure rate. We this. Now we got to go back and examine this and say, okay, so we got this high pressure rate. So what was the result of it? And if we didn't get the result that we wanted, then how do we get the result that we want going in the future? Because again, I want you to keep in your mind, they said we had a 42.5% pressure rate, correct? Well, I'm going to show you the point that's even crazier. This is the part that's got to be deflating for a team at times. This is why I say, what was the result of the pressure? Let me show you something about Jalen Hurts. We got all of this pressure on Jalen Hurts. But the problem is with Jalen Hurts is what was the result? What was the result of the pressure? And this is why people don't like this conversation. People don't like this conversation. Quarterback pressure. Quarterback pressure matters. It does. But also, what is the result of the pressure? What's the result? Let me show you what happened to us. Jalen Hurts had 5 rushing first downs against the Cowboys in the Eagles' 24-20 victory. The pressure ain't good enough. The pressure isn't good enough. There has to be some results. Look at this. 3 of those rushing first downs came on 3rd down conversions, including the game-winning run. These types of stats, they just burn me up. Yeah, we were able to get quarterback pressure. We were able to do the same thing. This isn't a Michael Parsons stat. We were able to get a high rate of pressure while Michael Parsons was here. a very high rate of pressure. But when you go to certain games, you have to ask yourself, but what was the result of the pressure in those games? It does you no good to get tremendous pressure, per se, on Jalen Hurts if he just squirts out of the backfield, squirts through the gaps, and beats you on first downs. It does you no good. It does you no good if you get tremendous quarterback pressure on a player like Patrick Mahomes. Joe Burrow, for example. Teams get tremendous pressure on him, only for him to eat them up, scoring 38 points. The question becomes with quarterback pressure is what is the result? Look at this fascinating stat. Jalen Hurts did not throw for a first down in the game. How do you lose? How do you lose a game where the man doesn't throw one first down? How do you lose? Because you didn't stop him when it counted. We didn't stop Jalen Hurts when it counted. Yeah, we flushed him out of the pocket, but it's like every time we were about to flush him out of the pocket and make a big play, we didn't make the play. I still don't understand why Matt Eberflus, and I hope they don't take this approach going against the Giants, and I hope they don't take this approach going towards the Bears. I hope they don't take this approach going against the Packers. They are going to have to spy out almost every quarterback on our list. On our schedule, they're going to have to spy out a lot of these quarterbacks because these quarterbacks can get out of the pocket. They can get out of the pocket. So you're going to have to get some results. You got to get some results. You got to get a fumble, a strip sack fumble. You got to get an interception. You got to get a quarterback sack and a tackle for loss. Something that changes the game. And while we can, I guess if we want to call this a consolation prize of 42.5% pressure rate, and if we want to look at stats, if we want to look at these graphs and, we want to feel good about the fact that the Cowboys and, hey, it's okay to feel good about it. The fact that we still could garner pressure. The issue is, but we lost the game because we couldn't get the result that you want from the pressure. It's not good enough to lead the league in quarterback pressures. It's not. It's not. We've done it before. It's not good enough to lead the league in pressures. You have to get a result. What's the result? What is it? Randy Cadell, appreciate that super chat. He said, I think we need a running back one. What about a Miami back? Now, Randy, I do agree that we need. Let me tell you about Javonte Williams. Let me answer it like this. Javonte Williams is great for the Cowboys. Javonte Williams, I think, is going to be great short yardage. Goal line, he proved he was good at the goal line. He was good on short yardage. He's also a hard runner. He's going to keep your sticks moving. Javonte Williams needs to remain a part of the Cowboys' running game because I believe that as the season goes on, Javonte Williams is going to get better. Javonte Williams needs to stay a part of the running game. The problem with Javonte Williams, he doesn't have that pop. I talked about that the other day. Before we run and get another running back, before we run and give up any kind of draft capital for a running back, we've got to see what Jaden Blue is. We've got to let him get on the field. We have to give him the opportunity. Give him the opportunity to run that rock. And I say give him a couple of games. I hope the Cowboys get him in the next game. I hope everything they've been saying about him, I hope it motivates him, and I hope he gets out there and he runs the rock and he breaks some big runs for us. And let's see what he does over 2 games. And then at the end of the Green Bay game, let's see where we are. That'll be the first quarter of the season. If we go 2-2, okay, we go 2-2. And if we need to add something to Javonte Williams, we do it. But I want to see first, before we run anywhere and give up any draft capital, I want to see what Jaden Blue is by game 4. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. And so we'll see if the Cowboys decide to go that route. But I got a strange feeling they're not going to go that route. I got a feeling that this dude, Jaden Blue, is going to get in the game. He's going to be nice. Yeah, that's one of the things, again, Big Rumbowski, you make a good point about coming back in the fourth quarter, going back to that question they asked. You just got to keep the point deficit close. If you can keep it close, you can win it. You can win it. But again, we talk about these quarterback pressures, and I want y'all to tell me what you think on this. But when you get to these quarterback pressures, man, I'm telling you, it's not that they're not good to have, but it's overrated. It's overrated unless you can tell me that you got some results. If you got some results, then I'm listening. If you told me that you got a fumble, if you cause an interception, if you cause some kind of adverse play from quarterback pressure, that's what I want to hear. But just to tell me that you were the second highest pressure rate team in the league, and then when I come back and I look at your box score, and when I look at your team stats, and I'm just talking about very simple stuff, and when I look at your team stats, and you're telling me you only got 1 sack and you were the highest pressure rate team in the league, you tell me you got 1 sack, you tell me that you gave up 20 first downs, you tell me the team was 8 of 13 on third downs, you tell me the team only punted 3 times, you tell me that team time of possession is 34.52, you tell me you have the highest pressure rate, the second highest pressure rate that week, there's no fumbles lost, there's no interceptions thrown, and you lose the game, I'm looking at you sideways. I'm really looking at you sideways. I'm like, okay, you're telling me that you got this high level of pressure, but you lost? You lost? 1 sack? No fumbles? No interceptions? I'm looking at you side-eyed. I am. I'm looking at you side-eyed. Real estate. Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't the top 3 defensive pressure teams in the NFL lose? I'm not sure if they all lost, but I think 2 of the 3 lost. Ron Hanna said that's because teams run the ball up, check our rushing efficiency. I'm telling us, when you start looking at this pressure stuff, it's Big Rumbowski. He said for plenty of times in the first half, the result of Hurts getting pressure was him beating the defensive ends who blew their containment. Exactly. Mario Johnson said exactly. Mike Torres, we went 42% pressure. What you mean, G? 42% pressure meaning on the quarterback. We highly pressured the quarterback. What was the result, Mike Torres? What was the result? Robert M31 said it before, said it again. They are lies statistics. They need context. That's the issue, Robert M. They need context. And I'm going to give you a perfect example of how statistics, they need tape and they need context. You don't throw away the box score. You don't throw away the stats. You don't throw away the tape. They're all telling the same story. You just need to know the story that's being told. I'm going to give you another powerful example of this. But I'm telling us, man, this thing with this quarterback pressure stuff. Yes, we got pressure without Micah. We did this with Micah. This isn't saying we missed Micah. We were third in pressure rate with Micah. We've been leading the league or been in the top in the league in pressure rates for years. It's garnered us nothing in the playoffs. Because at the end of the day, some quarterbacks eat pressure. Dak eats pressure. You put Dak Prescott under pressure, and he was under pressure against the Eagles. You put Dak Prescott under pressure, and he finds an open man. Dak Prescott will hit thread the needle on you. Some of these quarterbacks, they eat that pressure. They eat it. And unfortunately, Jalen Hurts is a pressure eater. This is an astounding stat. This dude didn't throw for 1 first down, but he ran for 5. You telling me we pressured this dude for 42.5% of the game? I can't even remember, but maybe 1 throw to a wide receiver. I'm pretty sure there was more. I mean, they locked down A.J. Brown. You're telling me in the grand scheme of things, this dude threw for 144 yards? And you lost? It's overrated. What are the incompletions that you caused? Did you cause a big incompletion? Did you cause an incompletion on 4th down and you won the game? What did you do? Robert M31, great point. Pressure without containment is worthless. You got to get a result. Juice Maine, I'm agreeing with you. Leo Fowler, he's got to be the mic. You got to get somebody to spot the quarterback, and we're going to need this. We're going to need this. We got to get a result. JG, he's a master scrambler. This dude eats pressure. He does. He eats pressure. You got to be very careful with him. Real estate vet, we dropped passes. That's how we lost. That too. But you know why else we lost? We didn't cause turnovers. The pressure is supposed to cause turnovers. Yeah, we committed a terrible fumble. We dropped passes. But where did we hit a turning point to say, yeah, but we also made Jalen Hurts cough the ball up. We made Jalen Hurts throw an interception. We got him on a strip sack fumble. What is the result of those quarterback pressures? We stopped them on a 4th down. What did we do? We can't live on this anymore. We got to figure out how to get the result. I talked about this last year, and enough people don't talk about it. Tell me the result of the pressure. I want to know the result of every single pressure. What did it end in? Did it end in you stopped them on 3rd down? Did it end in a turnover, a fumble, a sack, an interception? What did it end with? This stuff needs context. Let me give you another powerful example. Let me give you a powerful example staying with the Dallas Cowboys. So if you look at this game, and you look at this game, let's say next year. You look at this game next year. Season is over with. You look at this Cowboys game next year. Let me tell you what you see. The only thing you see is the Cowboys lost the first game of the season. They lost 24-20. Dak Prescott is, and if you look at Dak Prescott, I want to use Dak Prescott in particular. You look at Dak Prescott numbers and you say, oh man, he was lackluster. He was only 21-34, 188 yards. He was lackluster. That's why they lost the game. These numbers, the box score, the numbers need context. You don't get to put an asterisk up on the Dak Prescott name and say, Jake Ferguson dropped a pass in the end zone. You don't get that. CeeDee Lamb didn't drop 1, 2, 3. He dropped 4 big chunk yardage pass plays. You don't get that. Dak Prescott, rather than being 21 of 34, Dak Prescott might have easily been 26 of 31. He might not even need it anymore. He might not even needed more passes. He might have been 20. He might have been 26 or 30. If 2 of those are caught, he might have been 23 of 30. 23 of 28. I mean, the stats don't show those things. And when people go back and look at those things next year, some of us will say, oh, I remember that game. This is what happened. But other people look at that game and go, no, it is what it is. Nope, they lost. The quarterback rating was this, that, and the other. He's trash, blah, blah, blah. It was his fault. The statistics, the box scores, they're a part of the story. We got to get the whole story to see what's really going on. And that's why when you look at these quarterback pressures, man, when you start looking at the whole story on these things, it'll blow your mind. It'll absolutely blow your mind. Because you will immediately start saying, wait a minute, hold on a second. All of this stuff is not created the same. It's not created the same. And so that's why when I see these numbers, I get a little bit bothered by these numbers because they're not telling the whole story. They're not. Yeah, they're not telling the whole story. And again, real estate, that's why I want to come back to what you said. It's the same thing. The quarterback pressures, they don't tell the whole story. Looking at Dak Prescott's stats, don't tell the whole story. But nobody's going to hear next year or 2 years later, when they go back and just look at stats, those things go in your book. You're on your books, and nobody says, yeah, man, let me tell you what happened in that game. Nobody wants to hear it. Most people don't even review it. They don't. Carl Aldo, appreciate that super chat. 72 Chevelle. Most people don't even look at that stuff. Mario Johnson said Hurts broke at least 3 to 4 tackles for first downs and a touchdown. I'm just telling you, it just don't say it. Mike Torres said, relax, guys. Jalen played average, and we can lean from that game. I'd rather them run the ball and have them pass 20-plus yards. I'm going to tell you, Mike Torres, not with Jalen Hurts. No, not with Jalen Hurts. You actually want the opposite with Jalen Hurts. You don't want Jalen Hurts running, Mike Torres. Jalen Hurts destroys teams running. No, you want him throwing 20-plus yards down the field. You want him doing it. Because Jalen is not built like that. Jalen is not built for throwing the ball 30 times a game. Jalen is not built like that. Jalen Hurts is not built like that, and it's okay. That's his game. This is what Jalen Hurts is built for. Jalen Hurts is built 19 of 23 for 152 yards. And you can go back and check this dude's box scores. This dude has this on a regular basis. And if you go back and check the tape, this is what it looks like too. Jalen Hurts, 14 of 62, 2 touchdowns. You don't want Jalen Hurts doing this, Mike Torres. Maybe you want other quarterbacks running because they're not as lethal. I'm telling us, Jalen Hurts, like it, love it, or hate it, the dude is lethal with his legs. He bench presses 600-plus yards. This is why the tush push only works for him as a quarterback. He's built like a doggone running back. You are not getting him down with arm tackles. You straight up got to square up on this dude and you got to smack him. You don't want Mike Torres run. Mike Torres, you don't want Jalen Hurts running. This is normal for him. This is absolutely normal. You can go to game after game on Jalen Hurts, and this is the norm. 152, somewhere around maybe 200 yards passing, completing maybe 19 passes, sometimes only throwing for 20, 19 passes, whatever the case may be. The dude don't put up big passing yards. But then when you go into his runs and you see this stuff when they're beating these big-time teams, this is the stuff you see. Jalen Hurts absolutely murders teams. Murders teams with this stuff, man. He is the worst quarterback in the league. He's the one quarterback in the league that you don't want running. I'm telling you, this dude, you don't want him running. Let me just show you on this dude, man. I'm telling you, when you look at this dude's stats, you gotta understand. People have to understand Jalen Hurts. You have to understand the Jalen Hurts, the Jalen Hurts stats. If Dak Prescott had Jalen Hurts stats, the Cowboys are losing every single game almost. They're losing every single game. But with Jalen Hurts with those same stats, you got to go and check the score on Jalen Hurts. I'm telling you, man, this dude is dangerous. And quarterback pressures are not enough for Jalen Hurts. I'm just telling us, this is what makes this dude so lethal. He's a doggone almost running back that can throw the ball. And I'm not going to insult him. He's a quarterback. But I'm just telling you, this dude is dangerous. He's dangerous. He is the one that you actually want throwing the ball. You want him to throw it 35 times. You want him to throw it 30, 35 times. You want him to throw. Because if you can get him to throw, you're going to beat him. I promise you're going to beat Jalen Hurts. You're going to beat Jalen Hurts. If you can get him to throw the ball 30 plus times, you can beat him. But if you're going to let this dude run the ball 20 times, you better check the score. That's all I'm telling you. You better check the score. You better check the score on this dude. This dude, Jalen Hurts, man, he does this on a regular. You don't believe me? Let me show you this dude, man. This dude, Jalen Hurts, this is why this quarterback pressure stuff, you got to really examine it for what it is. Look at this. Jalen Hurts, NFL wildcard game, 22-10. Jalen Hurts, 13 of 21, 131 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jalen Hurts in the run game, 6 for 36, 6 yards to carry. You don't want this dude running. You don't want Jalen Hurts running. Especially with Saquon Barkley. You don't want this dude running. These quarterback pressures, I'm telling you, they're overrated. What were the results of these quarterback pressures? And I'm telling you, man, these Jalen Hurts games, if you go back and you look at these games, they look eerily similar. Eerily similar. Look at this dude against the doggone Rams. 15 for 20, 128 yards? What? Saquon Barkley, 205 yards, 2 touchdowns. He added to it. But let me tell you what makes Saquon Barkley even more dangerous. Jalen Hurts, 7 for 70, 10 yards average, 1 touchdown. This dude is dangerous. No, he's the one quarterback, I'm telling y'all. He's the one quarterback you don't want running the ball. And when you pressure this dude to get outside of the pocket, the question is, okay, you got the pressure on him. My question is, but what did you do? Did you sack him? Did you strip him? What did you do? This dude is absolutely lethal against the Commanders. He was 20 for 28, 246, 1 touchdown, pedestrian. Jalen Hurts, he was only 10 for 16. But look at what happened in the touchdown area, 3 touchdowns. This quarterback pressure stuff, I'm telling you, this junk is overrated. I like it. The Cowboys can get pressure. Okay, I like it. But what's the result? What's the result? I'm going to show you another game. Let's flip this on the other side. I'm going to show you where this even gets crazier. Look at Patrick Mahomes. You want to see the effects of quarterback pressure? Of getting a sack? Of strip sack fumbles? Of making him throw an interception? They did all of this to Patrick Mahomes and more. This dude is still in therapy right now. 21 of 32, 257 yards, 3 touchdowns. This dude had 2 interceptions. They murked this dude. They murked this dude. It wasn't just the pressure they put on Patrick Mahomes. It was what they did to this dude. They absolutely murked these dudes. Look at the team stats. You want to see the effects? You want to see the effects of quarterback pressure when you're getting results? Look at this. 12 first downs. 3 third downs. 6 sacks allowed. Six punts. 1 fumble lost. 2 interceptions thrown. That's the result of pressure. Don't tell me you got pressure. Tell me the results. I want to know the results. How in the world, and I understand it, it's a rhetorical question. How in the world do you win at quarterback pressures and lose the game? We've been doing it. Yep, we've been doing it. This is a place we got to make a change. We have to make a change at this spot right here. It's not enough for us to get pressures anymore. It's not even enough for us to get sacks anymore. How do we make the quarterback pressure count? What is the result? Yes, we need the sacks, but we also need the fumbles. We need the interceptions. If you're going to lead the league in turnovers, then you need the result of the pressures. You need the results of the pressures. Excuse me. You need the results of the pressures. We need to know. What did you do? Did you stop him on 4th down? What did you do? Did you get him 3 and outs? Give me the results of the pressure. 42.5% is great for me. I love it. I mean, you're going to give me that stat, I'm loving it. But then when I go back and look at this right here, it's mind-blowing. You telling me this quarterback this dude didn't throw for 1 first down? And he ran for 5 first downs? And 3 of those first downs were backbreakers? Bro, you got to do better. And I'm sure the Cowboys are understanding the same thing. Man, you got to do better. Pressure ain't enough. What's the result of the pressure? I said this last year and people didn't like it. What's the result of the pressure, man? Shoot, what is it? What is it? You got to get some results. Yeah, Overshawn will be back Thanksgiving for sure. Might be back even sooner, the way he's working right now. But Thanksgiving is probably the safe bet. Google's Rob Bowski said, Google AI said that Jalen Hurts didn't play Cowboys in 2026. He said, yeah, no stuff. Yeah. I'm telling us. These quarterback pressures, they are overrated. They are something to build on. But what you have to start discussing as a franchise is, okay, how do we make these things count? How do we make these things count? What do we do? What are we doing to these quarterbacks? What do we do? So I want to get to this thing about Jaden Blue. I'm very perturbed about the issue with Jaden Blue. Yeah, Robert M., I agree with you. The front seven is a rotation. It's a work in progress. We're going to figure it out over the next 3 weeks. I think we'll be good. We'll figure it out over the next 3 weeks. D said, if you let the quarterback have all day. No, you don't let him have all day. No, you don't let him have all day. You want the quarterback pressure, D's. The issue is, what's the result? Get me a result. Did you have a tip pass? Did you have a pass knocked down at the line of scrimmage? Did you knock the quarterback out? Did you knock him on the ground? Did you get a strip, sack, fumble? Did you make him throw an interception? I want the pressure, but you got to give me what you're getting from it. Because there are quarterbacks that just eat pressure. They eat it. And not only do they eat it, they thrive on it. Dak Prescott is one of those quarterbacks that thrive on the pressure. Dak Prescott, you get this dude on the run, especially if you get him out rolling to his right. You get Dak Prescott running out to his right, things start collapsing. Dak Prescott's going to pick you apart. A lot of teams do it. Yeah, that's why I said, Robert, I think it was 2 of the 3 teams lost. Because if I'm not mistaken, the Texans were one of them, and I think they lost. But you got to be able to get some result from whatever you're doing. And this Jaden Blue thing is we're talking about the running back position. We have got to see what Jaden Blue is first. We have to see what Jaden Blue is first. And I can appreciate what Shotty is doing. I'm not necessarily tripping on what Shotty is doing. I'm not tripping on it. Let me give you some context on this thing with Jaden Blue. Let me read this article, and then I'm gonna show you where I'm struggling. Yeah, I'm gonna show you where I'm struggling with the Jaden Blue thing. So this is the article that I found an article, and it's kind of quoting some of the stuff that we listened to Brian Schottenheimer say yesterday. This is why I'm struggling on what he said yesterday. It said Brian Schottenheimer explains why Jaden Blue was a healthy scratch. Okay. Now, we also heard Jerry Jones said he had been dealing with some ankle issues, and, there was some inconsistency there also during the week. But here's the problem. It says Jaden Blue was expected to compete for a starting job with the Cowboys after they turned over their running backs room. Instead, the 5th-round pick was a healthy scratch in week 1. Blue, whose work habits were questioned in the offseason by former offensive assistant in the know, has not earned the right to play, Coach Brian Schottenheimer said this week. Now, I did a video on this, and I actually defended and said this was hogwash. Jaden Blue receives criticism. Y'all remember the dude Glenn Smith. 2 days before the Cowboys training camp, former offensive assistant Glenn Smith called Blue borderline lazy in an interview and said the team wasn't pleased with Blue's work habits. Okay, y'all remember that. Well, now Schottenheimer almost comes back and justifies what this guy says. He says he's extremely talented. Y'all remember this. Schottenheimer said via Schuler Dixon of the Associated Press, he really is talented, but there's a way you have to perform, especially with the mantra of compete every day. If you're not putting it out there and doing it right every day, and if you take a step back on a Thursday, maybe you did a great job on a Wednesday, but on a Thursday, not saying he did. You sure about that? Because it seemed like to me you just explained an hypothetical situation that seems to be a true issue. He said that's going to get noticed. This is an incredibly talented roster. And you have to earn your chance to get out there. It's not because I was the first overall pick of the draft or whatever it is. Like, there's got to be consistency. Here's where I'm struggling with the Jaden Blue issue. Explain to me the consistency of Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders got hurt early in camp. Miles Sanders was not practicing during training camp, was not playing during the preseason because he was hurt. Only for Miles Sanders to get the number 2 running back position? Explain to me again where Miles Sanders earned that spot. The dude wasn't even practicing. The dude was rehabbing. Okay, I can agree. The Cowboys are a talented roster, extremely. But in the running back room? We're extremely talented in the running back room? Now, don't get me wrong. I like the way Javonte Williams runs the ball. But extremely talented in the running back room? If Jaden Blue don't beat Miles Sanders, he needs to be cut. If Jaden Blue don't beat Miles Sanders, he needs to be cut. extremely talented. I'm struggling. Struggling with this. Don't tell me this man is inconsistent. And I'm watching Miles Sanders be inconsistent. I don't see any consistency in Miles Sanders. Where is it? This dude literally broke out with a great run. Not only did he get ran down, he got ran down by a linebacker that runs a 4.6 40. Come on, man. If you were telling me that the running back in front of him, you said it's a talented roster, bro, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying Miles Sanders when you're telling me I'm not dogging on Miles Sanders. This dude let go of by Philly, let go of by Carolina. He was available out there and nobody was checking for him. Extremely talented running backs are not on the streets. I'm rocking with Shoddy, but some of this stuff don't sound like it's competitive stuff. It don't sound like competitive stuff to me, because if you saw Miles Sanders last week and this dude is still going to be a healthy scratch, what in the world? What in the world? I can't. I'm struggling hard. I'm struggling hard the same way I didn't even struggle hard with the Joe Milton thing. They gave him the job. He didn't compete for it. They gave it to him. And I'm saying the same thing in the case of Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders did not beat Jaden Blue out for this position. He did not beat Jaden Blue out. He couldn't have beat him out. He wasn't even on the field. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. And I'm telling you, if this dude cannot beat out Miles Sanders, then yes, it's time to be looking for a running back. I'm struggling. I'm struggling hard with this. Y'all tell me. I'm going to let y'all catch up in the comments. I'm struggling with this. It's not that I don't disagree with you saying that the dude has got to work himself. You know, he got to earn the snaps. Bro, I'm not arguing with you on that. I can see what you're saying. I mean, I can't see it, but if you're saying it, I can agree with it. But when you tell me the roster is extremely talented, I can agree with you. But in the running back room, I'm struggling. I'm struggling because, yes, Miles Sanders is good, and he may even get better as the season goes on. He needs to be a part of this running attack. He ain't got that pop. He runs hard. He's a good runner. He going to get you them goal lines and them red zones, and he going to get you them first downs even. I like what I'm seeing from him. He can be a part of the plan at the run game. But boy, you talking about that pop, though. He ain't got that pop. Javonte Williams ain't got that pop that makes the defense say, hold on, man, we got to step it up a little bit. He ain't got that pop. He ain't got that pop to make them linebackers say, hold on, Sam, we got to come up a little bit, man. We got to have gap integrity on this dude. He ain't got that pop. Jaden Blue, he got that pop. I want to see him running in a regular season game, but he still got pop. Yeah, he got pop, man. I'm struggling when they start talking about this stuff with Jaden Blue. I'm struggling with it. I'm struggling. All right, y'all kind of catching up with me. I want to hear what y'all saying on this subject about this thing with Jaden Blue, man. I'm struggling. Let me see here. Chris Kane said on the side note, got CeeDee Lamb most. He said, I got old. He got Chris K said, I got CeeDee Lamb on spice shower spray. Let's hope the smell don't drop like how he drops the ball. I see you. I see you. What up, Big Mouse Dog? Mike Torres, G, God bless. Thanks for the check, because you're right. He weak at throwing the ball. Yeah, Mike Torres, he the one dude you do want throwing the ball. Yeah, you want that joker throwing the ball. Yeah, Preston Taylor. Yeah, DeMario Overshawn will be back by Thanksgiving. A whole lot of things going to cut out when that dude get back. DK said quarterback's winning percentage when quarterback throws more than 30 times. Hurst has the second best winning percentage. I can't hate on him. He's one of the best. DK, I'm telling you, I've said it before. This dude is lethal with his legs. That's his game. The Basement Boys, the hoodie in the building. What's going on? I can't hate on this dude. This is his game. This is why you got to have a spy on him. And I was very confused at why Matt Eberflus didn't put a spy on him. Yes, sir. Buddha, welcome back. He said, I took a part-time fast from YouTube. I'm coming back like week 5. It's too early. What's going on? Yeah. Yeah, we got to get some result from that pressure. I want you to see. Let me see where you guys are. I want to catch up. Yeah, Ron Hanna said he's being activated this week. We'll see with Jaden Blue. Maybe they're just kind of playing possum, but they gotta get this dude involved. C-Base said Jerry mentions Jaden Blue's injuries keeping him from the team. I wonder if this is attributed to his ethics, like mentioned before, or is it just unfortunate injuries? I don't know what y'all think. I'm struggling because Brian said that this dude needs to be consistent. And when I hear somebody say consistent, and then I'm looking at Miles Sanders, and when you tell me that this doggone roster is talented, and I'm looking at Miles Sanders, talented running backs are not on the streets. Not talented running backs. Shoot, they're not on the doggone streets. Shoot, talented running backs on somebody's team. That's where they are. Lil Bud said, I think Blue don't come to work as a professional every day. He takes days off. He's a 5th rounder. He'll be okay. I'm ready to see him. I'm just telling you. I'm ready to see him because, man, I like what I saw from Javonte Williams. Miles Sanders, though, man, I can appreciate the run. But, man, somebody need to check his bank account. Yeah, Carl Alice said, I told you earlier in the chat, G, we need to be using Blue. I agree. Sub-Zero, what up with you? He said, keep blessing them with the truth, G. Appreciate you. Yeah, we gotta, I'm struggling with this Jaden Blue thing, man. You could tell me a whole bunch of dudes on this team is talented. Shoot, you start talking to me, you start telling me this running back room talented. Shoot, hold on a second, bro. Shoot, I got questions when you start talking about the running back room. We can still improve in that running back room. We can still improve in that running back room. We can still improve in that running back room. Sculler, no, what's going on with you? Good to see you up in here. Stop it, man. You know Michael didn't go off. He didn't go off. He did beat they were beating the Lions before he even got in the game. It was already over with. Cowboys, they kind of beat themselves. But again, okay, I'm going to go back and look at this call, Alder. Vach and Broder spoke this morning about Blues practice habits. I'm going to go back and look at this. I'm going to go back and look at it. But I'll tell you this, man. You know what? I get the practice habits. But again, bro, I'm sorry. There's just got to be a point, though. Man, I got to let this dude in the game, man. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But, man, when you start telling me you got a talented roster and you got to earn it, and then you telling me about Miles Sanders? Come on, man. I ain't listening to that. Katharina Kidd said, facts, G. Sanders isn't a 2 to me either. Katharina, I'm not listening when you telling me that this is a talented roster in the running back room. Buddha, I'm not worried about Javonte Williams. I can almost see why you're doing Javonte Williams right now. Miles Sanders, other than that one run, Sean Brown, yep, I said just like Joe Milton. Man, this sounds like I'm struggling. Check run affiliation. He said Blue is a big play guy. He is. His resume proves that, but he may be kind of fragile from the ankle injury. If he is not hurt, he gets the blocking on traps like he need. I'm guaranteed he'll bust a 50-yard run. Oh, yeah. Shoots, yeah. Again, no problem with Javonte Williams. Miles Sanders, though? Nah, man. I'm struggling when you tell me that the roster is talented and Miles Sanders is in front of this dude. And if he can't beat Miles Sanders, then he don't need to be on the doggone team. That's where I am. We'll see. I got a strange. I'm sorry. I just couldn't sit this dude 2 weeks in a row. I hope he practices real well. I can't sit this dude 2 weeks in a row. If he can go, I can't sit him 2 weeks in a row. But again, they called him a healthy scratch. They didn't mention nothing about his ankle. Jerry did, but they said he was a healthy scratch. Brian didn't mention anything about his ankle. Davion Wallace, what's going on? He said, I still think it's little things like pass pro and be where he should be on routes. Yeah, I get it. Black man says he has a tweaked ankle. We'll see. We will definitely see. But I'm struggling. Mike Torres said we just need Blue to play in real games because some players play better in real games. Mike Torres, people will never understand what you said. Some people will never understand what you said. I absolutely agree. Some people will never understand what you said. I got to get him in the game, man. April Shower said 5 running backs guy. I got to get him in the game. Ron Hanna said too many unknowns from that perspective, but 2 things can be true. See, and because you have Javonte Williams, he allows you to let Sanders he allows you to let Jaden Blue play. Jaden Blue don't do what you want in the game. You got Javonte Williams. Just keep playing him. But I got to get him in. I got to see what this dude is. I have to see what he is. Hallelujah said, why do we only have 2 running backs on the 40? On the 48 is the real question. Like, why are we doing it? He said, if somebody gets hurt, who's a halfback? Lipke. Yep. Bro, do you know that Lipke is the 3rd running back? I'm not understanding that either. I'm not. That's a whole nother discussion. That's a whole nother discussion right there, man. I don't even understand that. That's a whole nother discussion. The Basement Boys, he said, I rock with you, G, but with Shotty, it's more than just running. Oh, I know. I already know. Shotty ain't going to run 50% of the time. I already know. But Shotty needs a big play running back. He needs a big play, versatile running back. Javonte gets you the hard yards, but where are you going to get the big time, big play yards where you got a running back that steps on the field and everybody knows we better watch out. This dude can hit. This dude can take it to the crib anytime he wants to. Give him some daylight. Nisi said low-key politics again. Yep. So, all right, I'm not going to be the dead horse on this, but I'm just telling you I'm struggling, and we're going to see what happens past this week. Yeah, Derek G said he's struggling too. He said it's driving him crazy. And again, if it wasn't Miles Sanders in front of him, shoot, man, I'm not buying this thing with Miles Sanders. I'm not buying it. I'm sure Jaden Blue is better than Miles Sanders. I'm just not buying it, man. I'm not buying it. Game Wise said, as always, best players don't play in Dallas. I think they were big on Javonte. I think they were big on Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders from the beginning. And I think they're really trying to give him an opportunity. But I'm ready for this dude Blue to get out on this field. Carolina, he said, gee, you can tell me anything, but the Joneses are still meddling with this team. I agree. I said it before. I said it with the Joe Milton thing. This stuff has Jerry Jones written on it. It's got Jerry Jones written on it. It seems like they were very big on those guys from the beginning. Because I didn't think both of them were going to make the team. I'll be honest with y'all. I was shocked when Miles Sanders made the team. I was shocked. The dude was hurt the whole training camp almost. I was shocked. Shoot, man, Ron Hanna, I was surprised they didn't go get Damian Martinez. I was shocked. Lil Bud said, nah, G, we see what Miles could do. We good on him. Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm already moving on if it's me. I got to see what this dude is. Man, Darren, I believe it when I see it. Ain't no way. I'm with you. I believe we should keep the draft picks. Man, this draft they're talking about is going to be loaded down. This one and the next one. The Cowboys better not trade one of those first. There's not a running back the Cowboys could go get short of Saquon Barkley or the guy out of Baltimore. I mean, there are just not many running backs I'm giving up a first-round pick for. I'm not doing it. Man, you could go in the draft next year and get you a fresh, young running back. You got 5 years on. You're not worried about some fifth-year option coming up in a year. Nah, man, go in that draft. Leon said, G, don't struggle too much. Sanders is just a body until Mouth is healthy. That's what I want to see, too. He said Blue has been good, but needs more studying the playbook. Just wait for it. Okay, I'm feeling you on that. Hey, Ron 808, what's up? Needs to play more Leo Fowle. Leo Fowle needs to be our quarterback spy going forward. Leo Fowle better be our quarterback spy going forward until Demarion Overshown can get back. We are facing quarterbacks. And that dude, Caleb Williams, last night, not worried about him too much because once you get some practice on him, that dude collapses. But when they get the pressure on him, they got to make sure he doesn't get out of that backfield. He can run. Shoot, that dude can run. Carolina Cowboys, we're going to talk about Jalen Tolbert this week. Matter of fact, we might talk about him either Thursday or Friday. Man, Jalen Tolbert is in a world of trouble. He is in a world of trouble, I believe. And I'll say this about Jalen Tolbert before I move on to the NFL Power Rankings. I'm going to tell you what I think is wrong with Jalen Tolbert. I really do think that Jalen Tolbert is very upset that he's having to share third-round wide receiver duties with Jalen Tolbert. I could be totally wrong. Nobody's told me this. But I think that's what's got him upset. I believe Jalen Tolbert feels like he should be a made man and he shouldn't be sharing snaps. They brought in George Pickens to knock him out of the number 2 spot. Excuse me. And then you're going to let Kevontae Turpin take half of the snaps on the offense from him? I think this dude's a little bit upset. I do. I could be totally wrong, but I'm telling you, man, guys get funny about playing time, especially wide receivers, especially when you think it's going to be your year. And then here comes Brian Schottenheimer changing up everything. I could be wrong, but I think this dude Tolbert may be a little upset by what they're doing. All right, so we'll get to the Giants tomorrow, but I do want to cover this thing on the power rankings. Man, these dudes on the power rankings are so inconsistent. It is maddening. And I'm sure we'll be talking about Jaden Blue some more down the road today. Down the road this week. Let me show you this thing on these power rankings. These power ranks, they are all over the place. Everybody's got one, and they're very inconsistent. Blogging the Boys is reporting on the power rank. He said, here are the latest batch of NFL power ranks and where the Dallas Cowboys rank within them. So I'm not sure which one this is. This is blocking the boys, I guess. So let me show you how inconsistent these are. The Philadelphia Eagles are power ranked number 1 in the league. Buffalo, number 2. Green Bay, number 3. I'm going to make a comment in a moment. It's going to blow your mind. Washington Commanders, number 4. The Washington Commanders are number 4 after beating the Giants. Okay, let's keep going. They got the Chargers, the Vikings, the Buccaneers, the Rams, the Ravens, the Steelers, the Chiefs. This is where this starts getting out of order. The Cowboys looked better against the Eagles than the Chiefs looked against the Chargers. The Cincinnati Bengals, if I'm not mistaken, the Cincinnati Bengals won their game, didn't they? Meanwhile, the Chiefs are in front of the Bengals, in front of the Colts, in front of the 49ers, in front of the Jaguars, but they lost. Because they lost to the Chargers? And look at the reasoning. There is a lot of benefit of the doubt. Why did they get the benefit of the doubt? Why? Why did they get the benefit of the doubt? You're telling me the team that beat itself against the number 1 team, the team that beat itself against the number 1 team, you're telling me that team is number 17. Now, I predicted this is kind of where I thought they would be, somewhere around 12 to 17. How do you be at 17? You took the Super Bowl champs, 20-24. Granted, it was without Jalen Carter. And you're 17. The Chiefs get the benefit of the doubt. For what reason? Isn't it the power ranks for this year? Baltimore Ravens. They lost to the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills are number 2. They benefited. They benefited from playing a team like the Bills. They're number 9. But the Cowboys, these power rankings are very inconsistent. Let me show you another one. These things are all over the place. Everybody's got different ones. Saw this one today. This one right here has the Cowboys at 21. Make it make sense. The Eagles, if the Eagles are number 1, if the Bills are number 2, if the Bills beat the Chiefs, and the Chiefs are still number 7, if the Bills beat the Ravens, and the Ravens, let me see where they have the Ravens on this list. And the Ravens are number 4. How in the world, explain to me that the Cowboys are not somewhere on the first part of this list at least? Explain it to me. How does the Detroit Lions, explain to me how the Detroit Lions are ahead of the Cowboys? Explain it. I can't even explain why the Green Bay Packers are number 3. I know why they're doing it, though. I'm going to tell you something that I've noticed. I've noticed kind of evaluating these power rankings. Do y'all know they're penalizing the Cowboys? because they traded Micah Parsons and they're rewarding the Green Bay Packers because they got Micah Parsons? You want to talk about biased on these power rankings? I mean, I pulled up at least 6 of these things. Just check them out. They're all biased. Look at this. This person has the Cowboys all the way down here? What? Crazy work. Crazy work. I'm not even going to give this one a discussion. Like somebody, Barstool Sports. Yahoo Sports. Power rankings through week 2. They said the Chiefs won't walk through. They won't walk through this year. So let's look at where they had the Cowboys. 24. Look at this. One of the reasons Jerry Jones repeatedly gave for trading Micah Parsons was to fix the run defense. The Eagles ran for 158 yards on the Cowboys in week 1. Meanwhile, Green Bay's run defense was fantastic in week 1, especially when Parsons was on the field. These jokers penalized the Cowboys for trading Micah Parsons. You can't make this up. Explain to me again why the Seahawks would be over the Cowboys. Explain to me again why the Falcons would be over the Cowboys. Explain to me again why the Bears would be over the Cowboys. Explain to me again why the Houston Texans would even be over Arizona, the Raiders, and the Colts. Why would they even be over the Cowboys? Explain to me the reasoning behind all this. They can't. They can't. There is no reason Kansas City should be number 7. There's no reason the Detroit Lions should be number 5. You can't even justify to me Baltimore Ravens being at number 4. This stuff is crazy. This is why I don't even put a lot of stock into some of this stuff. It's absolutely bonkers. Bananas. I'm just telling us it's banana bonkers. How in the world do you justify those power rankings? There's just no rhyme or reason to them. There is no rhyme or reason to any of this stuff. It's like people just look at stuff and just throw it against the wall, or they're biased on how they're moving with this stuff, and none of it makes sense. Crazy to me. Absolutely crazy to me. Y'all tell me what you think. Y'all tell me what you think. It's crazy to me. I don't know any other way to slice it. All right. Let me read comments before we get up out of here. Started late today. I'll be back at 4:30 tomorrow. I don't like to get in the way of other content creators because I know some of them do it later. Chanel said you can't handle the Chanel. You can't handle the truth. Said Tampa Bay lucked out getting Ibuka. Oh my, Chanel. Emeka Ibuka looked incredible. Chanel, he looked incredible. He said, I told you, Tobin is very inconsistent. It's not what you stated. Tobin is spoiled and not a good receiver. When Mingo gets back, he will be non-existent. I'm telling you, man. I think he's in his feelings about this thing with Turpin. I do. And the competition has gotten to him. Internal thoughts, but yeah, I appreciate what you're saying. Yeah, I do think that when Mingo gets back, his his snaps are going to diminish. But I do think the Cowboys need to be careful because you don't want to drop his trade his trade capital either. All right, internal thought. He said, you don't end up in these situations as Tolbert by actually being better than those people. He's just not good enough. Yeah, I feel you. What's going on, Q-Town? He said, I read the Cowboys may trade Tolbert to the Jets for Brees Hall. We'll see. I haven't heard anything on that one. Sean, power rankings. Man, them things are trash. Davion Wallace said, JT salty, but he did nothing to prove Shotty wrong. You got to make plays and block a wide receiver 3. Man, wide receiver 3 on this team is essential, especially after what I saw in the Eagles game. I don't even think Turpin, while I do think Turpin is good enough to play in that position, sometimes I think they need to even lessen. I think they need to limit him to 10 and get quantity. They need to get quality over quantity with Kevontae Turpin. He's not big enough for some of the situations they're trying to put him in. I think if you're going to get him out there, you got to get him in space. Oh, man, Chanel, I agree with you. I'd have loved to have him on the team. Bro, I saw the catch he made. It was crazy. It's crazy. Black man said the combination between Phil Moff and Jaden Blue. That's what I'm waiting on too. Wow. Real estate vet said still looking for KC on the ranking. They gave it to him. Nisa said Tobin is like Army pay. We give him 100 and he takes 99. If the Cowboys are serious, did mid-season trade, I think it may happen. Hallelujah said John Shoulders just said Overshown practices like he could be back in another month. Yeah, I said it too. I think he may be coming back early. Metro Boom 808. Yeah, this is not accurate. Man, that thing is trash on these dang power rankings. Sean said we look better versus the Eagles than KC did in the Super Bowl. I don't understand it, Sean. I don't understand it. These dudes are literally going to penalize the Cowboys for trading Micah Parsons. C-Bay said Herbert meet C-Bay said the Herbert Riders. Y'all can read the rest. He said the Riders are in full effect. Boy, I'm telling you, man. Chanel said 49ers in trouble as Purdy and Kittles are both experiencing injury situations. Yeah, man, I'm going to tell you something. I like Kyle Shanahan. Bro, it may be time for Kyle Shanahan to move on. I think Kyle Shanahan may have missed his window, Chanel. You tell me what you think in the chat. For Kyle Shanahan to have to restart again with this team, trying to get it back to the Super Bowl, man, it may take this 2-3 more years to get this team back to the Super Bowl. Shanahan might ought to move on to another team, man. I'm serious. Metro Boom 808. Dallas moved the ball down the field faster than any team in week 1. Yeah, they were balling, bro. They were balling. Carl Alder said AI is the only reason. This thing is messed up. Herbert played nice against the Chiefs. Yeah, he did. I give him credit. Hallelujah said, yeah, the odds on us making the playoffs actually went up, which is crazy. Man, you know, I heard somebody say today that the Cowboys were only going to win 7 games. I was blown away. It's a person that covers the Cowboys. Chanel said the Cowboys should be number 2 as we should have beaten the Super Bowl champs. That should make you number 2 based on strength of scheduling. Chanel, I at least thought we'd have been at 12. Man, these dudes got us outside. MJ, the legend game, he said 21 is crazy work, man. Shoots, yeah. Hallelujah said, get your bets in. C-Base, same with golf. Same with Kyler. The media never wants to give the Cowboys credit. They all hate Jerry to death. It's politics. Truth. 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 Carl Alder said, call him best right now. Man, the Texans was crazy to me. This list made by Cowboys hater for sure. Boy, you ain't lying, C-Base. Boy, you ain't lying. Carolina said 17. Man, this dude, man. Yeah, SAS made this list. Stephen A. Smith made the list. I see you. Sean, the Bengals struggling versus the Browns. Man, I'm telling you. The real estate vet said they put the Bears ahead of us. Man, that's crazy, bro. Man, when I saw that, I said, man, these lists ain't got no kind of credibility. What they giving it to him for? Ben Johnson? Boy, these lists ain't got no credibility, man. C-Base said to put our team outside the top 20 after we had the Eagles on their heels. He said, I can't wait till this team shows the world. We gonna see what happens if they beat the Giants. How do you let the Commanders be in the top 10 for beating the Giants 21-6? So what does that mean if the Cowboys beat them 44-6? What does that mean? Hallelujah says, I mean, does he make any team better, G? That's fair. I mean, I'm just, boy, this thing. Little boy said, like, we can't whoop Jacksonville. And he listens crazy. It doesn't matter to me what the ranking is at the beginning of the year. I'm with you, Justin. I'm with you. Don't get me wrong, I'm with you, but it's just crazy to me, boy. The list look crazy. Right here said, man, sure looks like from that list, crazy work for real. Man, this thing is crazy. Sean said, this is a troll me. Katharina Kiss said, that is BS. Man, I'm telling y'all, this thing is crazy. Rankings don't matter to me, just like pressures. I just want W's. Hallelujah, exactly. But this stuff just goes to show you, man, how people think, man. Chanel said, gee, all those individuals who do those rankings all goofy. Goofy for Cocoa Pops. Man, Carolina said the Vikings are ahead of us. That's crazy. Sean said, I know it sounds crazy, but Dallas is the best 0-1 team. Man, say it. Say it. JG said, sponsored by David Mulugeta. Real estate vet said, man, nasty work, dog. Go the doggone Bears, for goodness sake. Boy, tell me the truth, man. Tell me the truth. These dudes are literally penalizing the Cowboys for trading Micah Parsons. Yeah, Darren Pressey. He said we're gonna change minds. I think so too. By the middle of the season, the Cowboys gonna have everybody under frenzy. Yep. Blue Star, what's up? He said rank 24th is crazy. It's crazy, man. C-Base said Chris Boyd, Scott, Joy Taylor, Acho. Stephen A. Smith. Kind of heard I'll make this list. Boy, it's crazy. Boy. He said, well, they feel the same in postseason when he disappears. Exactly. Man. Hallelujah said these Catherine the Kiss, those lists are reactionary and irrelevant. Boy, them things is crazy, man. They crazy. Miss Major said they do this every single week, G. It's a fair point they made, though. Jalen Hurts is a part of the Eagles' run game, and they fail to stop him. Shouldn't be that far down in the rankings. Exactly. I just can't believe the Cowboys that far down. It's crazy to me. Q-Town, I like what you said. They shouldn't release the power rankings in the week 5. Yeah, that sounds like a good deal, but they're going to do it every week. I understand. Yeah, Shaw and Brown, they don't like Jerry Jones. Gene Morris, what up? Broadus has heard that Blue is having trouble mastering the playbook. Okay. I'm gonna go look at that, and then we'll come back. I'm gonna come back and do something on that. Hallelujah said if we win the next 3 games, we'll be top 5. Boy, you ain't lying. Boy, you not lying. We win the next 3 games. Ain't no way we not top 5. Unless there's 6 other undefeated teams in front of us. Shoo. Gene said it has nothing to do with effort or talent. Okay. Newhouse fam, regulator up in this thing. Yes, sir. Ray Renan said, gee, we do our own rankings. Yes, sir. I did that last night. And I'm just going by the NFC right now. That's the only thing that I'm even worried about. I got us ranked number 2 in the NFC right now. Right in front of the Commanders. It's a 3-man race up in this thing right about this time. It's a 3-man race. Cowboys, Eagles, and the Commanders. And I got them in that order right now. Chanel, I'm telling you, bro, they're going to rub this thing with Michael Parsons in our face every single week. Every play this dude makes, they're going to rub it in our face. Boy, Chanel. Tolbert going to the Chiefs? I'd love to see it. I'd like to see our guys succeed when they leave. All right, Derek G, I'm about to get out of here too. Appreciate you. All right, guys. I'm going to get up out of here. I appreciate y'all rocking with me tonight. Let me read this super chat from Randy Cadell. He said, running back one, maybe a Miami guy, Jonathan Taylor. Your thoughts? Ooh, boy. Let me tell you something. Jonathan Taylor is one of those running backs I would seriously consider giving up a third for. I really would. Jonathan Taylor? Oh, yeah. Yeah, man. I would consider giving up a third. I really would. D-Block 88 up in this thing. What's going on? Yeah, I would consider giving up a third for sure. That dude is, man, shoot. That dude from Indy is, John Taylor's serious with it. If that's who I'm thinking about, serious with it. All right, guys. I appreciate you. Until the next time, DC4L, God bless. Salute, lost in translation. Let's talk Cowboys and we talk facts. Peace.